All right. I think I'm ready to go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to, if you haven't seen the title, welcome to Impromptu Stardew Valley stream until my Wi-Fi takes me out of my misery. I'm currently in the middle of a severe thunderstorm warning, so I'm gonna play Stardew Valley until my power goes out. Because I just think that sounds like fun. I felt like streaming, and weather be damned, I'm gonna do what I want to do. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just gonna play casual game. I think that today I'm probably gonna do some more grinding on my Joja file. Let me know if the audio is good, needs changing, anything. Yeah. Like I said, we're gonna be doing some Joja grinding, so I've been trying to get 100% completion on Stardew, which includes doing all of the quests, including the Joja Membership of the Year award thing. So I said, screw it, I'm gonna make a new file, and I'm gonna do that, because on the other one I did the community center, and I'm locked out of the Joja file on that now. Oh, I need my watering can. It's not raining. Garbage. But yeah. I just was having a bit of a rough day, and I was like, you know, what sounds like fun? Coming online and streaming sounds like fun. So, and what do I want to do that I haven't done in a long-ass time? I haven't played Stardew Valley since, like, the school-college semester ended. So I was like, you know what? I am gonna just play some Stardew and have a good time. But then I got, like, 3 billion alerts on my phone saying, hey, by the way, God is on his way to take you out of the fucking equation. So, we're in a very severe thunderstorm warning here. And, so, if in the middle of the stream I randomly just cut out, my stream ends, that is me losing power. And I actually, here, I'll demonstrate real quick. Let me demonstrate real quick. I made a special scene on my starting soon screen, called... Let me disable starting soon and turn on BRB. Dying to a thunderstorm, be right back. So I'm prepared. I'm also gaming right next to my emergency battery-powered lantern so that if the power goes out, I can make my way down to the basement as needed. What can I say? Prepared like a Boy Scout. But yeah, I just figured it sounded like some fun to play Stardew. I haven't done this in forever, so here I am. Okay, I'm a little rusty, as you can tell. It's been a little bit since I played. Cut me some slack, folks. But, how's everybody doing tonight? How's it going? Anybody who wants to chat, like, I guess talk in the chat, is more than welcome to. I'm just gonna be chilling out in Stardew and listening to some jams. Ooh, speaking of jams, let's listen to some Calico Desert, absolutely. I've gotten to the point now where I listen to the Stardew soundtrack so often that I can literally just recognize the songs as they come up in my playlist. So I knew that this was Calico Desert literally instantly. And I think that I one time may have had my friends kind of shook because we were doing some pottery painting, I think it was, and they were playing a video game playlist and a Stardew Valley song came on, and they were like, oh, sweet, Stardew Valley. And I was like, oh, I love Stardew Valley. I was like, I bet you I can name it. Oh, the luau is today? Oh, man. Okay. It's luau day. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this golden egg. You know what? No. On this file, we don't do events unless the events make us money. Because I am a soulless corporate stooge, only here to make moolah. The only thing that sucks is that means I can't go to the beach today, which is where I was going to go fish. So I guess that today I'm going to go fish in the river. Let me just pick up some forage stuff real quick because I can't just walk by this stuff. Who am I? What are you kidding? But, yeah. Hopefully the music's not too quiet. I know my music is kind of soft. Just because it makes my life easier. I'm also sorry if this is a little bit rumbly. I'm going to move my microphone. cord. Better to hear me with, I think. They're probably going to get a lot better audio quality and probably be a lot louder with my mic actually being close to my face. My setup is still kind of set up from yesterday when I was doing my drawing stream, so my mic was kind of far away. But today we're not drawing. Today we're just relaxing a little bit, giving my drawing hand a rest. Drawing every day, I'm going to burn myself out doing that. Even if it is Artfight right now, I can't. It'll be too much for me. So, there's my lightning alert. Let's go. Thunderstorm blowing in. It did get pretty dark outside pretty fast. You love to see it. I actually don't, because it's kind of ruining my evening plans of impromptu stream. But it be that way sometimes. You can't control the weather. I literally went from having like what's the word? I have dropped down to a single viewer count, which means I'm the only one here. Do I want to play Stardew then? People don't seem to be feeling it. Oh, wait, now my viewer count's back up to 3. Okay. What on earth? Anywho, I think I was rambling about a thunderstorm. Yeah, that's what I was doing. Exactly. Thunderstorm rambles. I almost feel like Stardew Valley should have its, like, I guess, playing Stardew Valley should be in the freaking just chatting category. Because honestly, unless you're doing some, like, really intense Stardew gaming, which it's Stardew Valley, come on, how often is it ever intense? You're probably just going to be talking the whole time. So I honestly feel like a just chatting category is very appropriate for this. Oh, Jesus, my power just flickered. And it flickered again. I might lose you guys very soon, actually. That's not great. But hey, still managed to get the fish, though. Let's go. Power flickers never hurt anybody, except they definitely do. A little more nervous. Like, it was just a meme about losing power. I was just memeing initially. Sorry if I keep missing fish. I keep looking outside to check to make sure everything's good. I was initially just memeing about losing power in the middle of stream. But after that double light flicker that just occurred, I'm starting to think that it's a very real possibility that I might lose power during this stream. But hey, can't stop the Stardew grind. We're gonna fucking go until I can't. Until I either get a very loud tornado warning alert, or until I lose power. Or it reaches like 2 hours and I'm burnt out. Whatever comes first. You never know. It is looking real dark out there, though. You love that. Sorry that all I've talked about so far is a thunderstorm. That's about all that's happened to me today. It's been a very boring day. Though I guess I can do a follow-up to... yesterday on stream I talked a little bit about my car saga, where my car was having brake problems. So I took it in to get the brakes checked. And I got them checked. And they said, oh, we can't find anything wrong. And so I went to a new place, mechanic, instead of a place that does brakes. And the mechanic's like, hey, but sorry about it. So your car has like a $500 part that is donezo. And you're going to have to replace that bitch. And I'm like, great, cool. That's exactly what I want to hear. Well, to follow up on that saga, I was supposed to have it repaired today. And then drive home. I caught a ride with a friend after work. I was going to go drive, pick up the car, and then head home for the evening. Yeah, so that didn't happen. I showed up. I told them. I'm like, when I dropped my car off for the appointment, I was like, hey, let me rephrase. When I made the appointment, I asked them, will the car be done by 4:30? Because that is when I get off of work. And they said, yes, we will have it done by the end of the day. And I was like, perfect. And then I asked them, and then I put on the sheet today when I went in to drop off my key at the ass crack of dawn because I had to go into work early. I put on my thing. I was like, hey, I'm picking this car up at 4:30 because that's when I get off of work. That's when I have a ride. So I get off of work, my normal time. I catch a ride with my friend down to the mechanic. Use my last piece of bait on a piece of algae. Fantastic. I catch a ride down to the mechanic. I arrive at the mechanic. I walk in. I say, hi, I'm here to pick up the car brand that I'm not going to tell you guys because you guys don't need to know what I drive. And they're like, oh, that's not going to be done for another 2 hours. And I was like, well, fuck me. All right, cool. Thanks. I told you like 3 times that I was going to be here at 4:30 to pick it up. And I just arrived at 4:30 and you told me that it's going to be 2 hours. I'm like, I understand it's really busy this time of year, and I understand that I'm not saying their job's easy, and I'm sure they were very busy, but it's very frustrating because then I had to run out to the parking lot to catch my friend before they drove off because I now needed to ride home because I couldn't just sit there for 2 hours because in 2 hours they'd be closed. And I had other stuff I needed to get done tonight. I hadn't eaten since about 11. And so it was, like I said, about 4:30 at that point. I was starving. So I was like, I'm just going to pick this car up tomorrow. So here I am, carless. And that's the follow-up story. I'm hoping that when I stream again on Thursday, more than likely Thursday, if not tomorrow, we'll find out. Because it just seems that I'm in a streaming mood lately. I'll keep you guys posted on whether or not I actually get my car back eventually. I know that you guys are at the edge of your seat wondering if I'm going to get my car back from the dealership. Not the dealership, the mechanic. Words. Yeah, mechanic. But, yeah. So other than the thunderstorm and my frustrations about the car, there's really not been a whole lot happening today. I kind of went to work, sat at my desk all day because the majority of my work that isn't desk work is out, for all of you who might not know, I work at a garden center. And at this garden center, I do a majority of the desk work. But I do often go out and work in the actual gardens themselves. And today I was going to go out in the garden and put in a bunch of new labels that I printed last week. But then my area was actually, I don't know what it is. God is just not on my side today. Because God was like, oh, you have a shit ton of labels to put out today? Actually, we're going to make it a heat index of 107 degrees with 90% humidity, so go fuck yourself. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm staying inside all day today. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine because this week we're going to be renewing the trial on our label maker, which means I'll be able to just make more labels that I've been needing to get done anyway. So I'll just work on making more labels. Then that didn't work. The label maker trial wouldn't refresh. So then I was like, okay, well, then what am I going to do inside all day? So I just sat at my computer, not printing the labels, but just putting them together in the software. Because we can't print them until we get the update, but I can still create the labels in our software. So I just spent 4 hours at my desk doing that, and I also had to eat lunch at my desk today because didn't have a car to go to lunch. So I had to eat lunch at my desk. So that was not very fun. But other than that, yeah, I've just spent the whole day at my computer. I did go out a little bit in the morning to put together my flower display. I do a weekly flower display. Whoops. Whoa. Sorry, folks. The wind is blowing so hard, it's blowing the rain through the screen on my window and onto the glass. Shit, dog. We're praying for power. We're praying to keep their power on, man. This stream hasn't been going very long. I want to keep my power on. Man, this fish does not want to get caught, huh? I love Stardew fishing, though. It's so fun. Sturgeon, nice. I'm making hella moolah today, which is good because, fun fact, if you didn't know it, the JoJo Company Employee of the Year, whatever it's called, Customer of the Year, Employee of the Year, one of the two, it's expensive. I actually, I understand that, the game is designed for you to go the community center route the first time, and that's very apparent, because the community center route is a million times more fun than the JoJo Company route. Because the JoJo one is literally just grind money. All you do is grind money. And the other one is more interesting because it's oh, well, you're looking for these specific objects. So you have to explore new areas of the game, maybe do some stuff you've never done before, try some new things. And it's like a really great... I can't shut up about how much I love Stardew Valley. It's such a great way of getting the player to kind of explore their environment a little bit more in new, unique ways. But for the JoJo one, it's like, soulless corporation, give us your money and you can improve the game. It's basically every other pay-to-play game in the universe. EA is taking notes. I'll stop throwing shade at game companies now. Basically, I love Stardew Valley, and I think the JoJo Company route is a lot less fun, but I've already done the Community Center route and gotten that achievement, so it's time to do JoJo. It's time to go JoJo time. Oh, I'm out of energy. I kind of forget that that's a thing sometimes. I'm so used to, like, on my other file, having, like, maxed out star drops, so I'm like, oh, I never run out of energy, ever. So, don't worry about it. And then, now as I fish here, I recall that energy is a thing, and it can be a detriment if I do poorly. It's late enough anyway, so I'll go put my little character to bed, sell what I have, and then we'll continue in the morning. Woo! Grapes! No, don't eat the algae. Pick up the grape. There we go. So far, we're keeping power on. You love that. You love to see that. But... yeah, I mean, probably the most interesting part of my day, like, on days where I have to stay in the office, is, like, what do I watch while I'm at my desk and working? Because I'm allowed to have my headphones in and listen to YouTube, which is amazing, by the way. Oh, there goes a flicker of my lights. Please, power, don't do this to me. Come on, now. Stay strong. It's so fucking sketch when my lights flicker, holy shit. Anyway, I get to watch YouTube at my desk, which is awesome. I like being able to just work on my stuff on my computer and listen to whatever the hell I want. Sometimes I watch live streams, sometimes I just watch YouTube content, sometimes I watch Netflix, sometimes I watch anime. Whatever I'm in the mood for, I just kind of chuck that bitch on the phone. Whoa. It's really raining out there, holy shit. I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna tuck my character into bed. I'm gonna check the radar real quick, make sure I'm not about to get fucking wrecked. I haven't gotten any tornado warnings yet, so that's good. When I do, you'll fucking know that my phone will freak the hell out. Because they have this new National Weather Service thing that your phone, like, loses its shit if you get put in a tornado warning. Which is good, because that's 90% of the time I wouldn't notice it otherwise. Man, it's still so hot outside here. Wow, 50% chance of storms? I think there's a little bit more than 50, my guy. Man, it is raining. I'm glad I pulled my stuff inside. I have deck furniture and a bird feeder, and I pulled them inside because I was like, you know, it's supposed to rain pretty hard. I better pull that stuff in for the night just in case. Oh no, but I didn't pull down my hanging basket. Oh no. Well, it's too late now. I'm not about to get fucking poured on going out there. It'll just have to survive. I don't know if you guys can hear that because it's pretty loud, but the rain is like pounding my window right now. It's really going hard out there. Holy shit. But hey, we ball. Fuck it, we ball. We're gonna get back to the game. Back to the game. But yeah. That was kind of my whole day at work. It hasn't been super eventful lately. Probably the most eventful thing I've done in the past few days is watch Fruits Basket. Which I wouldn't even consider to be that eventful. It's pretty good. If you've never seen Fruits Basket, it's a pretty fun little anime. It's kind of... Depending on the version you watch, it's very early 2000s, which is fitting because that's when it was made. But I watched the original first because I got recommended watching it on stream. Everybody was like, oh, it's got a pretty decent English dub. And, excuse me, I'm always looking for English dub content because usually I do prefer the Japanese dubs of things. But when I'm at work and I'm doing stuff on my computer, I can't read subtitles. I have to be focusing on what's on my screen. And so I'm like, okay, well, if I can't read subtitles, I have to watch anime in English. So what are some shows that have decent English dubs that I could watch while I work? I got recommended Fruits Basket, which I had obviously heard of because I grew up in that kind of era of anime, and I had seen stuff of a similar caliber, like Arna High School Host Club is, from what I'm aware, commonly compared to Fruits Basket, and I can definitely see the resemblance between the two, even though I think they came out. Did they come out the same year? I think they either came out the same year or a year or two apart. They came out pretty close together. So there's a lot of resemblance between the two, I think. But so I was watching that, and I watched the original first because I'm a sucker for original early 2000s animes. I love the early 2000s just vibe and style. It's so ridiculous and over the top. I just adore it. And so I watched that. It was pretty good. I liked it. Like, it's very early 2000s. There were some moments that were just too over the top for me. Like, I like over the top shit in, like, early anime, but some of it was just too much. Like, there's if you've ever seen the original Fruits Basket, you'll get this, and if you haven't, then I'll describe it as best I can. Basically, not really spoiler, because they reveal it in, like, episode 1 or 2, but the boy main character, Yuki, he and Kyo and other guy who's a creep whose name I can't remember, Shigure maybe, basically if they get hugged by a lady, they turn into an animal of the Chinese zodiac. That's the whole premise of the show. And in one of the episodes, Toru, the main female character, she brings over her friends to this house where she lives with these guys. They're not related, but she's living there because of extenuating circumstances. And so they're at her friends, her two female friends come over to visit, and she's there, obviously, because she lives there. And there's this whole long-ass, drawn-out scene where they keep, the female characters keep bumping into the guys, and the guys keep turning into animals, and then they turn back, and then they get turned into animals again. And my God, I like the show, but that was so incredibly drawn out and unbearable. I could not do it. I was like, this is getting ridiculous. Probably 10 minutes of the episode was dedicated to them being turned into animals and then turned back. It was absolutely insane. I was like, okay, this kind of low-key is not great. I don't love how drawn out this is. It's so boring. But fortunately, I started rewatching the 2019 version. Well, not rewatching, but started watching the 2019 version. And fortunately, that is something they kind of repaired with the 2019 version. There was a lot of stuff I liked about the new version of the show. I think they did... Oh, shit, I'm losing that fish. No way. Holy crap. I was like, there's a lot of stuff that they did with the new version that I actually really enjoyed. And there's some stuff I don't like. It's not a perfect remake, in my opinion. I think it does a really good job sticking to the source material without being, sticking to the source material without being a word-for-word remake. There are some... My app just alerted me that rain might be starting in 15 minutes. Bud, considering it's blowing against my window, I think it's already started, but I appreciate the effort. Basically, things I like about the original, the original's obviously, it's the original. Things I like about the remake is they kept a lot of the same voice actors, which that is such a good move on their part, because it is so jarring to watch a remake or a season of a show that was released way later than the original that has completely different, a completely different cast. It's awful. It's like when a sitcom tries to replace a character with a new actor. It's just jarring and uncomfortable and feels wrong, and I hate it. So I was really glad that they did their best to keep the original voice cast. Obviously, you can't do it in every case, but they kept a majority of the cast. So I was a fan of that. So there's a pro. Now a con. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but the little blonde kid that turns into a rabbit. He's one of the Zodiac boys as well. He turns into a rabbit because you're the rabbit, haha. He in the original just had like a normal, like, young kid voice, kind of like Honey from Iran High School Host Club. And then in the 2019 one, he's just German. Like, they couldn't get his voice actor to come back. And so they said, nah, fuck it, he's German now. And it is just jarring. I hate it. Because it's very clearly like an American voice actor trying to do a German accent. And it is just off-putting. I really, really hate it. I really don't like that he's German now. Like, Germany, pop off, honestly. But American actors trying to do a German voice, it's so bad, man. It's like, it's a really thick accent, too, and he says, like, random German phrases and shit. And I don't know why they went that direction with his character. Like, I get that he's a blonde character with blue eyes, and he's probably meant to be, like, of German descent. But I really just don't like that. I think that they could have made him be of German descent and then, like, you know, be living in Japan and speak Japanese and not have an accent. Because I'm fairly certain, at least from the original, it's implied that he's grown up there his entire life and would have no reason to have a German accent. Like, I'm fairly certain his father is Japanese and his mother is where he inherits the blonde and blue eyes. So, like, if his father is Japanese and he's lived in Japan his whole life, why does he have a German accent? Like, I get he's blonde with blue eyes, but why was this decision made? It's really bad. I really don't like it. Pros. They got rid of, from the original, like I said, there were a lot of scenes that were really long and drawn out and unnecessary and were just total filler. And then in the new season, like in the 2019 version, they seem to kind of do away with that and go in more of a story-driven direction, which I really, really enjoy. I think that was a great decision. I liked that they cut out a lot of the fluff and just put in more story-driven plot points. Con. They changed Yuki's name to Soma. Here's why I have an issue with that. So, I understand that in Japan, at least I'm fairly certain this is the case. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not exactly the leading authority on Japanese culture. In Japan, they will refer to people by their last names rather than their first names sometimes. Like, for example, if you are watching Death Note, Chief Yagami is called Yagami because that's his last name. The only reason they don't call Light Yagami is because there's two Yagamis in the group, so they differentiate by calling him Light. So a lot of times in Japanese culture, they'll refer to people by their last name, which is fine. That's fantastic. Great. Cool. Which is why in the original anime that came out in, I believe, 2001-ish, they referred to all of the Soma family by their first name. So Yuki Soma was Yuki, Kyo Soma was Kyo, and Shigure Soma was Shigure, which is great. And they kept that mostly the same for the new version, except for Yuki. For whatever reason, in the new version, they made Kyo Kyo, they made Shigure Shigure, but they changed Yuki to Soma, which I think is a really bad decision. Because all of these characters are Somas. So why would you call, like, it just drives me bonkers. I really don't like it. And also it's partly just because I watched the original. And in the original, for 26, 27 episodes, they called him Yuki. And suddenly I'm watching this show, and suddenly they're calling him freaking Soma for some reason. It drives me insane. I don't like that change. It made no sense to me to change it. I thought it was I just thought it was better when it was Yuki. I thought that was way more fitting. And I'm sure most people probably think of him as Yuki, not as Soma. At least fans of the original series probably do. Pros. I like what they did with Kyo's character. Kyo in the original is a lot less likable than the Kyo from the 2019 version. In the 2019 one, it's a little bit more obvious that he likes Toru right off the bat, which I like. I thought that was great. And a scene that kind of adds to that, which is another pro for the series, is that in one of the episodes, Toru, like, okay, I'll do a con first, because I have a con for this episode and I have a pro for this episode. There's an episode in the series where, so the reason Toru was living with the Somas was because her grandfather's house, she lives with her grandfather because her parents had passed away. So she's living with her grandfather, and her grandfather's house was undergoing renovations, so he was living with his extended family, her aunt, uncle, and cousins, while the renovations were going under. But their house didn't have room for her to stay as well, so he told her to stay with a friend. Well, she didn't want to impose on her friend, so she was living in a tent in the woods for a while, and then she ended up, through circumstances, living with the Somas. And she really likes living there, yada yada. It's a huge thing in the show. I'm not going to give you the full synopsis. But basically, God, my brain just completely quit there for a minute. Wow. So basically, what happens is the renovations in the show get finished, and she has to go back to live with her. Well, she doesn't have to, but she's going to go back to live with her grandfather, and her aunt, uncle, and cousins are moving in with her grandfather as well. And this is like a big plot point in the show because she obviously doesn't want to go, and the Soma boys, Yuki and Kyo, obviously they don't want to admit it, but they don't want her to leave either because they like her. And so basically what happens is she goes to live with her grandfather, and when she's there, the aunt, uncle, and cousins are treating her just like absolute dog shit. They're awful to her. They are just complete jerks the whole time for literally no reason. And I feel like them being jerks was way better conveyed in the original 2001 version. Because in the 2001 version, they have a clip where her female cousin is bitching about, like, ugh, I have to share a room with you. We're moving to a bigger house, and I have to share a room with some lame-ass, like, piece of shit like you. Like, obviously paraphrasing, but you get the gist. And then she walks out of the room, and she goes downstairs, and her aunt is like, will you get me this specific item from the cupboard while I cook? And Toru is like, yeah, I can do that, and goes and gets into a cupboard, but it's the wrong cupboard. And the aunt is like, honestly, can't you do anything right? And, like, walks over and gets into a new cupboard and pulls out the thing she needs. As if Toru hasn't just, like, you know, not lived there for, like, 2 months and doesn't know where the hell you put the new shit when you moved in. It's ridiculous. And then there's a whole, like, climactic scene where the aunt reveals that she's been a creep and has hired some private investigator to follow Toru around, and is like, so I hired this guy to follow you around because my son wants to be a police officer, and we can't let you have a bad record because of that. So I needed to keep a constant eye on you because I'm a fucking creep with no sense of boundaries. And it's basically like, why were you living with boys? And they basically just are like, oh wow, you were shacking up with 3 men. I bet that was fantastic. Like, basically just being absolute dickwads. And then Yuki and Kyo break in, and there's this whole scene and yada yada. Well, things that I like about that episode from the older standpoint is that it shows off the family being jerks to her way, way, way better. Like, this music is not very fitting for what I'm talking about, but I'm just going to continue anyway. Basically, in the original, like, you see them being just complete jerks to her the entire time. You get to see everything I just described. In the new version, they did, like, the little snippet of, her cousin bitching about having to stay in the same room as her. And then they did the snippet of, obviously they did the big climactic scene where it's revealed that her aunt's a creep who's been stalking her with a private investigator. But they cut out some of the other moments where they show off the family just being jerks to her. And it's like, it's almost, and it also is like back to back, whereas in the original, these moments were kind of spliced out throughout the episode. So you can tell it's kind of like a long form thing where this isn't just like one bad day where she's been bickering with her family. Like, it's back to back in the one. So it seems like in the other one, it happens all in one day. Whereas in the original, it feels like it's over the course of a week. Sorry, 1 second. I'm going to take a drink. I don't know. I just thought that the way that her family being jerks played out in the original just made a lot more sense. Like, they didn't do a bad job necessarily in the new one. I just think that it made more sense in the original. Ooh, lots of stuff to harvest today. Let's go. Hops and melons. Let's see. Saturday the 13th, so if I go buy more melons from Pierre, I should have time to grow more. Is there a quest that I need those for? Jody wants cauliflower. I do not have a quest for those yet. I'm going to hang on to the hops, though, and use that for beer. I just need to make a keg. What's the keg recipe? Do I have it? I surely should, right? I don't. Ugh. Okay. Well, then I'll just go ahead and sell them. There's no point in hanging on to them if I can't make a keg. Anyways, I completely derailed myself. Basically, I thought the original... Why did this occur? I watered them all. Bruh. Basically, I thought the original handled that whole situation in a way that felt like just more fulfilling with the show. But I don't think the new one did a bad job. I just thought the original did it better. And then, when it comes to... I forgot I got the greenhouse fixed. Oh no! My greenhouse crops! Okay, they're alive. Cool. I completely forgot that I had unlocked the greenhouse. I haven't been harvesting my mushrooms either. God, it's been so long since I played Stardew. I'm so out of practice. But basically, thing I liked about the original, the new version, better than the original, was in the new version, in that same episode, when her family is confronting her about the fact that they were creeps and stalked her via private investigator. In the original, it seems like Yuki and Kyo just kind of come completely out of nowhere and swoop in to save the day, which I was like, okay, cool, I'm glad they're there, but at the same time, like, why are they there, and how did this occur? Whereas in the new one, we get to see an entire, like, additional scene. Oh, sorry, 1 second, I'm getting a text that I have to reply to. Sorry, folks. I hate replying to texts on stream, but depending on the person, I have to. Okay, 2 more seconds here. Alright, sorry about that, folks. Like I said, I hate doing that on stream, but sometimes I don't have a choice. Depending on who's calling or texting, I have to take it. So... what I was saying was, I felt that in the new version, they made a really cool scene that shows, like, the backstory of how Yuki and Kyo ended up getting there, how they ended up, like, overhearing this conversation. I just thought it was very well set up, and it added a lot that the original didn't have, which is nice, because you don't always see remakes add to the original. You often just see the remakes be word for word what the original was. I thought it was a really smart decision on their part to give the new one something unique. And, like, I'm fairly certain the new one is going to completely expand on the story as well, because it's cut out a lot of the fluff that the original had, and has moved on now to doing, like, very story-driven plot points. And in the original, there was only 1 season, but the remake, I've heard, has 3 seasons. So I'm fairly certain they, like, go completely popping off with the new version, and they do a lot. So I'm excited for that. I'm glad to get more content from Fruits Basket, because I think it's a really good show. But, yeah. That's been my Fruits Basket hot take. Throw the watering can in there. Alright, let's go back to fishing. It's 10 a.m. I could go buy more melons from Pierre. I think I had 10 melons, so I'll go buy some more melons from Pierre. Because I think they take 12 days to mature. I'll double check. Well, I know we have do we have 12 days? Does spring have 25 days, or does spring have 24 days? Spring has 28 days. Perfect. So if I buy more melon, 12 days to mature. Okay, perfect. that. And check the garbage cans, because I'm a raccoon that likes to run around in the yard and dig in the trash. And let's go check my progress on my Joja goal and see where I'm at with that. Let's see here. Sorry for the long fruits basket talk. That was just where I decided to take the conversation. Okay, so I have 44,000. For 20,000, I can unlock panning, but I can unlock the bridge for 25. Let's do the bridge. Thank you. Because then I can access the rock quarry, which will be nice. There we go. All right, let's go to the beach and fish. Yes, thank you, weather app, for alerting me that it's wet outside. I could not have told. Like, how could I tell? Let's be real. How could I possibly tell? With, like, the rain that's been blowing against my window, how could I ever tell that? Man, I'm very, very cynical tonight, I guess. But, yeah. I'm kind of thinking that when I'm done with stream, if I still have power, I'm going to try to record the last episode of my Portal playthrough tonight. Or I think it'll be the last episode at least. We'll see how... I think I have a couple more tests to run through. But we'll see how it goes. Okay. Well, I got a couple of things from the beach, so let's fish. How long have I been going so far? What time is it? 8 o'clock. So I've been going for like half an hour, I think, yeah? I'm kind of like tempted to make this a multi-purpose stream and do Stardew for a little bit and then switch over and start doing, oh shit, I need to pay attention to this fish. And switch over and maybe do like one quick Artfight thing. Because I found somebody I really want to draw for Artfight. It's an artist I really admire and would love to do work for. And I know they get like a bunch of Artfight stuff drawn for them because they're really popular. But I like their stuff. I think it's cute. So I think I'm going to try drawing them. So I might switch gears and do that. Maybe after this day in Stardew, I think I'll switch gears and do that. I'll do a little bit of art for a while. Switch things up a little bit. Because I felt some Stardew for a while, but now I'm starting to get my art hand starting to twitch. I want to draw a little bit. Plus, it's good to draw a little bit every day. That's how you improve. Fun fact. But, yeah. Oh, God, I need to pay more attention to my Stardew character. If I'm gonna fish, I'm wasting all this energy on not catching anything. But, yeah. So I might switch over and do that. And then when I'm done, I might record for Portal. See how much energy I have. Because I have been really tired lately. I need to go to bed at a decent hour tonight instead of staying up till the butt crack of dawn. That's why I feel like that's why I'm always having headaches lately. Probably just need to sleep more. But what can I do? I'm a night owl. I just don't sleep very well. But yeah, I might switch things up a little bit. Go from Stardew to draw for a little while. Maybe send out a notification on my Discord about switching to a drawing stream after Stardew. Excuse me, sorry for the yawn. Speaking of tired. Because I don't think I mentioned on Discord specifically that this was a Stardew Valley stream. But I'll just throw something on there for art stream to let people know that I'm going to be drawing for a while. Because it seems to be like a pretty highly requested thing, which I'm really happy about because I think that drawing on stream is so fun. The only downside to it is usually when I draw, I like to listen to music that reminds me of the character or the thing I'm drawing. So like if I'm if I'm drawing one of my characters as like a punk or like a character that looks like he would listen to metal, I listen to rock and metal, which has been a lot lately because rock and metal is really good. And That's usually what I go for. But when I'm on stream, I am very limited as to what I can listen to due to really dumb copyright laws that say, oh, this song you're using as background music, actually you're stealing that from us and we're going to need to take all your money away now. Which is ridiculous. It frustrates the hell out of me because very few people go to streams to listen to music. Most people go to streams to consume content. Usually not listen to the music that's being played. Not always. Some folks do like to infringe on their copyright a little bit. I just think that it's kind of dumb that, like, using music as background music isn't considered transformative content. I just think that's a really weird take. I don't think that's a good idea. I think it's awful. Kind of like how music being used in animations is like, oh, actually you can't do that or we're going to take all your money. Because it's our song, and even though you're doing something transformative and just using this as a background bass, we say that that's our money, so give. I think that's kind of that's my hot take of the day. I think that's dumb. It does make things difficult because that means I'm pretty limited onto what music I can listen to on stream. But so I tend to, as you can hear in the background, I have a stream playlist of songs I play. It's a mix of Stardew Valley and Undertale. And I do occasionally play some Minecraft music as well, just not lately. Anything Minecraft related is kind of a sore spot. I'm not going to go too much into it, but I'm just not in a Minecraft mood lately. Watching anything Minecraft related kind of is getting me down, so I'm not going to touch that for a little bit. I'm just going to do some other stuff. But yeah, so, and plus I just love the Stardew Valley soundtrack. I think I've mentioned this on stream before, but I'll just go ahead and say it again, because why not? Maybe people who are watching haven't heard this story. But when it comes to the music I listen to on Spotify, I've only had Spotify Premium for about 2 years, because I started paying for it. I initially was just using Apple Music to listen to everything. And then for a while I did listen to YouTube, but I just got so sick of listening to advertisements that I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. So I just decided to shell out for Spotify Premium. And since I am a college student, I do get a pretty hefty discount, which is very nice. And it comes with like a lot of other perks like Hulu, which is great because that's how I ended up watching Fruits Basket. But yeah, so I got Spotify Premium, and the first year I had Spotify Premium, my artist of the year and the most listened to songs were from C418, which, if you're not familiar, that's the Minecraft soundtrack. I had the Minecraft soundtrack as my top artist of the year for 2020. Then in 2021, my top artist of the year was Concerned Ape, which, if you don't know about Concerned Ape is the developer of Stardew Valley and the person who made all the Stardew Valley music. So for the 2 years that I've had Spotify Premium, my top artist has been a video game soundtrack. And it's probably going to happen again because I use the music for streams. So, but you know what? That's fine by me because I honestly do really love the Spotify sound, like not the Spotify, the Stardew Valley soundtrack. It's so good. Because like last year when I had it be my top 10 song, artist, that wasn't because of streaming. That was just because I listened to it that much. It was kind of insane. I was among the top 3% of their listeners for the year because I listened to Stardew Valley so much. I was unhealthily addicted to the game when I first got it. I think, like, for long-term Stardew Valley players, this probably sounds like baby numbers, but I think I've probably logged 800, 900 hours in this game. Well, maybe not 800. How many hours have I logged in this game? When I log off, I'll double check. I thought I was close to 800. On the one file, I think I have 700 and something. But I could be entirely wrong. I guess we'll find out. But I know that sounds like baby numbers to a lot of like long-term players, but here's the thing. I've only had this game since 2021. I logged those hours in a year. Let that sink in for a minute. I guess maybe technically a year and a half. I played this game an unhealthy amount of time when COVID happened. Because, okay, when I was quarantined for COVID, or I guess everybody was quarantined for COVID, I have a tendency to pick a media and latch onto it. And it got even worse during that time because I just had nothing else to do. And the media that I originally stuck to was Animal Crossing. So when I couldn't leave my house, was doing all of my classes on my laptop at my parents' house, I played Animal Crossing every day from the minute I woke up until the minute I went to bed. It was very unhealthy. I only stopped to eat. That was about it. Then, when that phase kind of ended and I went back to campus for school, all of my classes were still online, but I was living on campus because A, I wanted to be able to see my friends, and B, because I work. I have a job. And so since the office I worked in was open again and I could go and work there, I just got to go work on campus and do all that. And during that time, I purchased Stardew Valley. So my classes were all online. I didn't have to go to any in-person lectures, which meant don't do this at home, kids. It meant I didn't have to pay attention to anything because it was all online, so who was going to stop me? And I just kind of played Stardew Valley a lot. And that's when I logged my crazy hours, was during that time period. I would play it constantly. And I just really like it. I can't help it. It's just a really fun, relaxing game. It was recommended to me by a friend. And then when my friend asked me how I liked it, I was like, oh my god, yeah, like the Ginger Island expansion, blah, blah, blah. He was like, Ginger Island? I have no idea what you're talking about. And that was when I realized that my friend who had recommended the game to me, I had already passed his progress. That's when I knew I had a problem. Yeah, the bridge is repaired. Let's go. Thank you, Soulless Corporation. I love you. All right. Ooh, now we're getting somewhere. Gimme that rancher perk. All right. So, like I promised, that's it for Stardew Valley for now. We are going to log off and do something else for a bit. Let's exit to the title screen while I get my new thing loaded up. And I also am just curious to, look. Okay, so I don't have nearly as many hours as I thought I did. God, I way overshot myself on that. I thought I had 800 hours. I don't have 800 hours. That would be ridiculous. If you can't tell, I'm very tired, so I'm bound to make mistakes. I have 300 hours. I have 290 hours on my main farm. I have on this farm 11 hours. This one 2. This one 20. This one 10. This one almost 8. This one 3. So I would probably say of all of the hours I probably have about an average of probably 340, 350 across all my files. Not nearly as much as I thought, which is good, because now that I think about it, and I'm actually using the 2 brain cells I still have, that would be, when I say 800 hours in a year, that would be insane. I had to activate all 2 neurons for that one. Holy shit. Okay, I'm going to switch back to my starting soon screen while I get my iPad hooked up, because y'all don't need to see my iPad. Y'all don't need to see that. I will get that set up real quick, so un momento. Sorry if you get some jumbly audio. I'm going to move my microphone real quick. Mirror my screen. Good. Nice. Okay. Almost good to go. Let me just hop on my thing here and change my stream stuff. Sorry again for rumbly audio. I have to adjust my microphone because I'm trying to do stuff. Create your dashboard. Here it is. Let's update the stream information. We're going to change this to art category. Keep the tags the same. Changed. Cool. Now my stream should be updated with my art information. Okay. Cool. Excellent. Is it that updated? I think it is. Yes, it is. Sick. I'm going to real quick send out a notification to let people know I'm drawing now, and then I'll get started. On Discord now. Time to update the Twitter. Okay, perfect. Updated Discord, updated Twitter. Now I just have to update a couple more things on my stream information because I have, if y'all didn't know this, I have a special setup for when I do art streams with Artfight content because I have to credit the people who have made the content. So we will go to this. We will go to this. We will go to my bookmarks. And after I go to my bookmarks, where is it? How can I see the people I'm following? Because I know exactly who it is I want to draw, but I can't find their stuff. No. Well, I might be out of luck. Oh wait, subscriptions. Yes, here it is. Perfect. People I've followed. Okay. You know what would be kind of fun? Let's take a look at this person. Hello, buddy. I might try and draw this person's stuff. I don't know. Sorry, this is kind of... Wait, what is on earth is happening here? This is not what I'm doing. Go to my channel. What are you doing? There we go. Okay. Sorry, folks. It's still kind of slow. I'm just trying to get my stuff figured out for the art setup. Well, I guess it's a little bit of a change of plans because I can't find the person whose art I want to attack. So we're going to go with a different bookmark I have. We're going to do this person instead. Perfect. Alright, let me switch my stream over so you guys can actually see what I'm doing and do some changes to... Okay. Alright. Sorry for the black screen. Give me one moment. Turn on my video background. And where is my source? There it is. Hello. It's drawing time. We're going to break the fourth wall here a little bit. Breaking the fourth wall with my character because I have to change things. Cool. Alright. We got the drawing sprite now. Let's go. Sick. Got the drawing sprite ready. iPad's mirroring. Got the music playing. And now I just need to pull up the character and creator boxes. So character we're working on is going to be called Redacted. Okay. And we need to make that smaller. It's too big. And the creator is going to be changed to Radiant _Rose. Nice. And make that just a little bit smaller so we can see the full name. Perfect. All right, now I can get started on art. If you aren't aware, the reason I do that is because when I'm drawing Artfight stuff, the stuff I'm drawing is not my character. So I need to make sure I'm crediting the people where credit is due. Probably no full body stuff again. Well, maybe, do we want to do a full body today? I did 2 bust shots yesterday. It might not be such a bad idea to do a full body. Let's throw some spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. Let's do some sketching and see what I think. Okay. So, get a quick drink of water and I will get started. All right. Let's see here. Do I have a pose I want to do? Do they give me any information about this character, like what they're like? They don't. They just give me a reference. So, we're just gonna go for it. We're just gonna try whatever I think looks cool. Let's trying to look for some reference poses. Because I think some reference would be good for today. I want to draw something a little bit more interesting. Let's see here, let's see here, let's see here. Sorry folks, I know this isn't the most exciting thing with the stream, but it is important to have references when you're doing art. If you don't know this, referencing is not cheating. You shouldn't trace things and claim it's yours, but referencing is good to do. And if you need a pose, it's not such a bad thing to just like look up some poses and see what looks like fun to draw. What do I want to draw here? Well, I'm not seeing anything too terribly interesting. Man, I always struggle with finding poses. It is the hardest part of starting to draw anything, honestly. Like, I want to do some dynamic stuff. I don't do a lot of dynamic poses, and I'm trying to work on that, which is part of the reason I'm doing Artfight, is to improve. So it'd be real nice if I could just find some poses that I like, that I could use. Well, I think I'm just gonna throw some shit on the page and see what sticks. Because I can't spend my whole evening looking for references. I'm just gonna throw some shit on the page and see what happens. So let's see here. Let's start it off with a head here. Got some ears going. Okay. The ears kind of have a different shape than I'm used to drawing. But we're gonna play with that a little bit. Cool. They got some fluff that comes off the tops here. Cool. A little bit of fluffy here. Okay, good. Their face fluff comes off like that. Fluff there, a little bit more here. Comes down and comes back on the face. So maybe a little bigger here. Just gonna talk to myself while I draw real quick. Talk you through my process, which is basically just, go back to your drawing self. Why did you switch out of your drawing form, Missy? Why has this occurred? Go back to drawing. What are you doing? I'm drawing now. Sorry about that. My hotkeys are sometimes when I'm typing to look for poses, my hotkeys will like get bumped and I will have to switch back over to my drawing pose because I get switched out of it. And I went through all the effort of making a drawing sprite, so I gotta use it. It's not quite as fancy as some other people's, where they have like their hand and stuff on the screen, but I tried my best. I did the best with what tools I had at my disposal. Okay. Okay, that's looking not terrible. Let's erase some of my guidelines here so I can really get a look at what shapes I've got going. It's a bit too big of an eraser. It's too small of an eraser. Can we find one that's just right? Let's see. Okay, erase some of these lines here and here. See what we're looking like. Not bad, not bad. We're liking that, we're liking that. Maybe not quite as rounded on the chin though. You want your chin to be rounded, but not like ridiculous. Okay. Maybe a little bit more down, I guess, because I do want to kind of draw the face at a bit of a downward angle. So maybe like that. Still not content with that shape. Maybe I'll go back to like, maybe a little less rounded, maybe a little bit more ovular. That's kind of what the reference has. I kind of like that kind of shape to it. Higher up on this side, make it a little bit more symmetrical. Like this, maybe? Yeah, that looks pretty good. Put the big old schnoz on there. They gots to have the schnoz. And the way the face kind of comes back. Do the eyes next. Which the eyes are like this. I might change the schnoz because I'm not liking the schnoz currently. I don't like that schnoz at all. I might change the schnoz. Some schnoz adjustment. Get a little arch like that. Yeah, this needs some schnoz adjusting. I don't like the snooze. It was just a little bit too big. I want them to have a big old schnoz, but not quite that big of a schnoz, you know? That's better, I think. Eyes need to be a little closer together. Okay. Not awful. They have kind of like a little bit of a shape to the face like this. Nice, good. The nose comes like this. Sticking the tongue out, 'cause I said so. Some little cute eyebrows in there. Nice, that's cute. I like that, it's cute. Cute. Maybe make the eyes a little bit less lidded. Like this. Cute. Okay. I like that. That's cute. Make this connect a little bit more. Good. Okay. The ears kind of do a different shape. Once again, a different shape than I'm used to, which is nice. Like I said, I'm doing this to try and learn some new stuff. So we're going to try some new ear shapes. Let's see how this goes. Some adjusting though, because like I said, it's new to me. Cute. Okay. Other ear time. This ear might be too small. A little bigger. Just the angle. That's a little better. Open maybe, like that. Yeah. Okay. Cute. Do some body work now. Let's see here. How wide are those shoulders? Maybe sketch out a quick little body shape, which might get adjusted depending on how I feel that works proportionally. Yeah, see, we're going to adjust this a little bit. Because I like the shape. It's just a little too far down because we have to have room for the leggies. Okay, some more room for the leggies. Very cool, very cool. Let's see, how do they do the feet on this guy? This guy's a little difficult. He's built different. Which I say is a joke, but it's true. It's a different body type than I'm used to drawing for characters like this. Maybe try, so a little wider at the hips, obviously, because I gotta have those classic chunky legs. Nice, cute. It's more drawn in like a suit style than it is drawn in like the way I'd usually do it. So let's maybe do this. And the feet are kind of drawn. The legs kind of come down a little further. Kind of stick, like obviously I have to do this in my own style because it's Artfight, but like they don't want a carbon copy of the work they submitted. They want you to do things your own way. So big old feet, big old feet, just some big ass feet, some big ass stompers, just like that. Excellent. I should give him a little bit more sass, I think. So I'm gonna redo his posing a little bit here. We're gonna cock this sideways, make it a little bit more sassy. And we're gonna take the head. I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move. We're gonna tilt the head the opposite direction. Have him sit like that. See, that's cute. See, that's cute. And then this arm can be needs to be a little bit more relaxed than that, I think. this arm will be the one we do a little sassy hand on hip pose with. Nice. That's so cute. I'm liking this so far. Okay. Big old fingers. We'll give them little paw hands. I have to do my little pose so I remember where the fingers go. Yeah. Anytime you see me drawing a peace sign, just picture in your head that I am doing the peace sign. Like if I stop drawing and if I'm drawing a peace sign and you see me stop for a minute, I am totally doing that peace sign as we speak. Because sometimes I have to do the sign myself to remember how the fingers go. Okay. Nice. Got that elbow going. That looks pretty good. Like these just, like I want him to have paw fingers, but not like quite that big maybe. Yeah, that looks cute. Okay, sweet. And then, fun fact about me, folks, if you don't know, if you're new, I do big tails. I do big tails. Because, like, why even bother if you're not going to do a big tail? Yeah. I draw big-ass tails on my characters. Because I think it's cute. I like it. Maybe not that big, but big. I like big tails and I cannot lie. That's awful. Why did I say that? Ew. I just think that big tails on characters are really cute. So that's where your butt is. This is how the tail connects. Yeah. That's a good little pose, you think? Maybe a little smaller so the ear's not getting cut off. Yeah, I think that's a fun little flunky pose. A fun little funky guy pose. I was going to start the line art, but then I remembered he has floofs that I need to add. So I need to add some floofiness. He needs to be a little fluffier than this, for sure, for sure. First of all, that shoulder needs to come up a little bit, because man's got to have shoulders. So chest floof comes up like that, and then it kind of comes down into the middle. That. Yeah. And then we have flooferness here as well. I don't know why I keep saying flooferness. That's just how apparently just how I'm feeling tonight, man. What can I say? Got the elbow fluff. Nice. Got the fluff on the elbows, looking sick, looking fun, looking fresh, looking cool. Where else do you have fluff at, my guy? Your thighs have some fluffy to them. So we'll add some fluffy down here. Maybe not that big. Cute. What about elsewhere? Okay, that looks good, looks good. I like how this little pose looks. It's so sassy. Oh, the shoulders. I can't believe I forgot the shoulders. I literally started them and then didn't finish it. What am I doing? Nice. Just erase this and see how I think it looks. Yeah, I think that looks good. I think we're ready to do some line art. I'm going to turn the opacity down on that a bit because I used a really bright red. Let's see. We have kind of a brown orangish color scheme. So we are going to do a nice dark brown line art today. Kind of like a dark gray brown almost. We're going to ink this character. Do I want to do... Yeah, we're going to do Studio Pen with this character. Let's maybe try this first. Sorry if you guys get a little bit like motion sick from me constantly twirling my drawings around. I have to constantly tilt them to new angles to get my stuff right. Because some angles just feel more natural than others, depending on what I'm trying to draw. So I just kind of zoom around as I see fit. Cute. Nice. Okay, so let's do the hair next. Nice. Don't love that actually. Is that better? Yeah, that's not bad. Looks good. Nice. Okay, nice. Looking really good on the head shape here. I'm really digging the head shape on this character. I think this is a lot of fun. Cute. Looks pretty good. Let's do that schnoz now. Nice. Sorry that I'm kind of quiet. Focusing very hard on making this look good. Because I'm really liking how this is going so far. See what I mean when I say that I should just, like, become a furry artist? For folks who might be new to this stream, hi. I'm not a furry artist, like, usually. Which may be kind of hard to believe. But I'm not usually a furry artist, but maybe I should be, because I'm better at this than I am at humans for some reason. For some reason, I'm just better at furries. Might just be my calling. That looks really good. You know, I hear that furries pay well for their commissions, so if I ever decide to start taking art commissions, there I go. They're notorious for paying their artists well. See, that looks so good. I like that. That's cute. I think probably the only thing I've said over the last 30 minutes of stream is like, oh, I like that. That's cute. I can't help it. It's cute. I like it. I like how this is going. I think this is turning out really well so far. Maybe I should give him some little toofs, because he looks like he has long teeth. Yeah, see, that looks so cute. I like it. Me says everything's cute for 30 hours, refuses to elaborate. Leaves. I just think it's cute. I just think it's cute. So I'm gonna do it because I think it's cute. Nice. Alright, that's looking really good. Let's do the body a little bit now. Oopsie daisy. No. There we go. Excellent. Absolutely thought you were a furry artist for some reason. I'm not. Everybody, like, here's the thing. It's totally valid to think I was. It's totally valid to think I am. A lot of people probably do think that. But I'm not. I am good at drawing them, but I actually do not draw them as often as you'd think. I probably should put my talents to use, but I think I talked about it a little bit during my last art stream, because during my last art stream I also drew kind of a furry character. And I don't know how it happened, but I just one day on a whim drew a furry and found out that for whatever reason I am better at drawing furries than I am at drawing humans, which is hilarious considering I've been drawing humans way longer than I've been drawing furries. I don't know why. Furries have always just made more sense to my brain. They're always easier for me to draw. All of my art that I do of furry characters turns out better than art I do of non-furry characters. I can't explain it. I just, like, honestly, I think it just might be my calling. I'm just destined to be an artist. Like, if I'm gonna be an artist, I'm destined to be a furry artist. Let's be real. It's just how I'm built, I guess, which is fine. You had that cat thing in the Portal gameplay as well. Yeah. Cookie, are you not familiar with my my little character I use here? So, as I'm sitting here saying I'm not a furry artist, this is my little character. Her name's Hush. Since I'm a faceless streamer, and didn't really want to, here's the thing. Being a faceless streamer is fine, but it's really hard for your audience to, like, find something to relate to you and refer to you as when there's literally nothing to represent you. So I'm going the kind of, like, PNG tuber, VTuber route and giving myself a character to represent me while I work on stuff. So the character I decided to go with is a character I've had for a long time. Her name's Hush. She's the little purple cat, and I designed her based off of my username. So I thought it'd be a very fitting little character to use as, like, a representation of me while I stream and do videos and stuff. So I have my little purple cat, and she's rigged to move while I talk. I have her doing her drawing sprite right now, but she has, like, she has another model that is able to do, like, a range of different emotions and stuff. But during my drawing streams, I'm only able to do the one emotion, which is art. I can do normal and I can do art. Because the model, that would, if I, like, was to add all of my emotions to the model that I use for drawing, I would have to individually draw all of those frames. And dog, I got enough on my plate as it is, man. I can't afford to draw emotions. But why does she have no mouth? That is because the username is Hush. And since she is Hush, I put the little X over her mouth to, like, be like, oh. Because here's the thing, it's really easy to get the cat part of the name. Because the cat part of the name, it's a cat. Easy. Easy peasy. But I was like, how can I incorporate Hush in a way that isn't just another cat? And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll put something over her mouth because she's Hush. And so the X is the little symbol I put over her mouth, and it's also now when I do my art, I can't talk tonight, my gosh. When I do my art signature has a little X next to it because it represents my character. But yeah, that's kind of the backstory around it. I didn't make my username based on the character. I designed the character based on the username. So she is based off of the username I picked. And that was just kind of the route I went with it. She's gone through a lot of iterations. I've had this username for a little while now. But yeah, Cookie, no, long time no see, man. How's it going? I'm just kind of vibing out and doing some Artfight work. It's fun. How do I want to draw this? I know how to do this. Let's do the legs first, and then we'll add that in after. Okay. Got that. Perfect. I'll leave that for now. That'll just be that for now. I was actually watching Bob Ross not long ago. I was doing absolutely nothing for a bit, then I saw you live on Art. Yeah, nice. I love Bob Ross so much, man. One of my favorite memories I have from, like, my freshman year of college was one of the clubs I was doing a painting night where we just watched Bob Ross and painted whatever the hell we wanted. It was amazing. I love watching Bob Ross. Yeah, I started out on Stardew Valley, but then I was like, you know what? I started on Stardew because I was kind of low energy. I had a headache, and I was like, I just want to do something really relaxed. And then I was like, actually, I think I'm in the mood for some art, so let's do some art. And I just switched gears, and started drawing a little bit. And it's been going really great. I actually am really enjoying how this is turning out. It's looking really good. Which is nice. I'm excited to have my stuff looking good. Okay. Because, like, I think I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but, like, sometimes I feel kind of down about the way my art looks. But the thing that's nice about Artfight is you get a lot of time to explore and play with new things, and I feel like I'm really enjoying how it's been going so far this year. It's very nice. Let's move this down a little bit more. But yeah, it's been very good. I've been enjoying myself. I like doing chill streams like this where I just sit down and draw for a while. I know it's not YouTube's favorite thing because YouTube is not nice to artists, but that's the tea for the day. I cannot draw for the life of me though, but I leave if I ever actually took the time. I could create something cool, but I've never had the patience because I want to erase it constantly, then throw it away in a bin. Feels bad, man. Yeah, honestly, it's really hard when you first start. Like, little fun fact about me, and people might not believe me when I say this, but I'm gonna say it because it's true. I have no natural talent for art. This is not something I just was like, oh, I decided I like drawing, so I'm just gonna pick this up and be good at it. I have literally no natural talent for it. If I was to show on stream art from when I was in middle school and I first started, it's awful. It looks awful. I'm sorry, it's just bad. My art from when I was younger is not good because I have no affinity for it. I have just been drawing for about 11 years, and so I've just gotten a lot better at it. And I'm still not happy with it 90% of the time, but, like, I've improved a ton, and that's one of the things that's nice is, like, even if I feel bad about my art, sometimes I can go back and look at my stuff from middle school and be like, oh my god, thank god I'm better than that at least. But yeah, if you're ever, like, interested in art, it is a thing, it is a practice in patience. But if you're willing to put the effort and time into it, it is not an impossible skill to attain. You can totally be an artist. You just gotta pick up a paper and do it. And one thing I would recommend is, like, some folks like to start with, like, the equipment first and then pick up the skill later. I would recommend the opposite. I would recommend draw first and learn what kind of art you like. And then once you have learned that, you can go and buy expensive equipment from there. My art career started on lined paper in my notebooks at school, and yours can too. You don't have to have expensive tools obviously are nice, don't get me wrong. Because I do like my nice, expensive art materials, but they're by no means a necessity. You are not required to have stuff like that. So, yeah. If you want to be an artist, just practice. That is really the secret. I'm sure people hear that a million times a day, but that's really all it is. You just gotta do it. I started doing it because I had a friend who was naturally really good at drawing, and I was super jealous of how good they were, and I decided that I wanted to be like that too. And so I just picked up my sketchbook one day, or I guess I started on lined paper, then eventually bought myself a sketchbook, and just kind of went to town. And then over the course of the few years, I've just drawn and drawn and drawn and drawn and drawn. And now I've gotten to the point where I can draw stuff like this. It's really all it is. I also think it helped a ton that I was very lucky in the sense that I got an opportunity to take a college level art class. I obviously took art in high school because I just liked that stuff, and I had room in my schedule. It's high school, man. But, like, I was very blessed in it being able to take a college level art class my freshman year of college. And while I'm obviously not a design major anymore, it was amazing. I loved the class. I met lots of great people, and my instructor was just amazing. I learned so much just from taking one semester of that class that has helped me improve so much as an artist. It's incredible, honestly. So if you're able to take a class, absolutely do that, because it does help a lot. And a lot of people are, like, intimidated. They're like, oh, well, I can't take an art class because I can't draw. Well, that's the thing. When you go into an art class, they literally tell you, they're like, we don't want you to have drawing experience when you enter here, because we'd rather you be a clean slate than have a bunch of bad self-taught habits. So it's definitely like, if you're intimidated because, oh, well, I haven't learned how to draw yet, so I can't draw in the design class, obviously. Well, that's the whole point. You're there to learn, aren't you? It is intimidating, though, don't get me wrong. Some of the people in my design class, holy crap, were they talented? Made me feel awful constantly, because they were so much better than I was. How do I want to go about showing some decency here? That's better. I actually do more computer science, but that's more depressing. So I like to do other things that express creativity. That's very fair. And you know what? Like, computer science is very understandable. I actually really enjoy computer science stuff. A little known fact about me is I actually did take a website programming class at college as well. The reason I have taken so many just like random classes is because I went into my major undeclared, which means I hadn't picked what I wanted to do when I first started at school. So I just was given the opportunity to do whatever the hell I wanted for a semester or two until I decided what I wanted to major in. And I decided eventually what I wanted to do, but I took a bunch of random shit first, and I took design, and I took a website programming class. That's what it was. I don't know. Do we like this floof here? Because, like, I don't want it to look... I obviously only do SFW stuff, so I don't want to go anything crazy. I want this to look appropriate, but, like, I don't... This character has, like, this little hip divot thing. Like that. Try this, maybe. But yeah, there are definitely other ways to express your creativity outside of drawing as well. Like, another thing I do is I write a lot. Writing's a big passion of mine. I write almost daily. And it helps if you have, like, people you can write with, like friends. Writing alone is fun. Writing with friends is so fucking fun. It's way better to write with friends than it is by yourself. So, like, if you're able to write with friends, I'd recommend doing that. That's the best way to do it, I think. I don't like that. I want to keep this aspect of the character, but how do I do that without looking weird? I might just keep it like that. We'll see. We'll see. I'm liking that line art, though. So much, in fact, that I'm going to go the extra mile here and do some line weight on this. Because I actually really like how this is looking, and I want this line weight to look good. This is a part of me. Friends, you say? Fair. Well, I should say friend, singular. I have one friend that I write with. I used to have a bunch of people that I wrote with, but you know how it is with online friends sometimes. You kind of lose touch eventually. I mostly just write with the one friend now. But it's really fun. If you're able to find people you can write with, it really does make things way better. It's so fun. And if not with a friend, like, one way I recommend doing it if you're, like, interested in getting into writing but don't know where to start is, like, I know that a lot of people think it's cringy to write fan fiction, but pick a piece of media you like and write fan fiction of it. And you don't have to share it if you don't want to, but just, like, get some shit on the page, generate some ideas based off of the media that's already provided for you. It's a good It's like drawing from a reference, basically. You're using the references of a story to create something entirely new. And that is very beneficial. That's how I started. I didn't post any of it, but I used to... When my friend and I first started writing, we were writing our own MHA characters, and then we kind of evolved it from there. It's a good process, I think. Everybody starts somewhere is something you should definitely remember. You're not going to be fantastic off the bat. Some people are. You're not always going to be, though. And that's an important thing to remember. Okay, it's looking pretty decent, we want to make this a little, it's too big. Cute. But yeah, I don't usually stream on Tuesdays, but tonight after I ate dinner and finished my homework, I was like, you know what? It's gonna rain. I just kind of feel like hanging out and doing something. So I just said, screw it. Why not just go ahead and throw on a live stream and just do that? And here I am. And it's kind of cool in a sense, using what you like in order to spark creativity. Exactly. That's the way I almost always do it. A majority of the characters that I have created and the writing I've generated, I wear my inspirations very much on my sleeve. Like, it's hard to tell, like, if you don't necessarily know the medium that I started with. I sometimes look to find creativity instead. Yeah, see, that's the thing, is like, it is different for some people. Some people can look to find creativity, and others find creativity in other forms of media. That's what I took a creative writing class this last semester, and that was one of the things we discussed, like, extensively in my course, was that we're like, some people find motivation in different ways. Some people just have to sit down and force themselves to be creative, or like just sit down and let their mind wander in order to find creativity. And other people gather their energy from other forms of media. So for me, I've always been somebody who gets inspired by media. Like I said, I wear my inspirations on my sleeve pretty heavily. Folks who've tuned into streams in the past may know that I am a big Warrior Cats fan. I used to read Warrior Cats books when I was in school. And I think you can maybe tell where I might have gotten inspiration from Warrior Cats just a little bit. Maybe in the fact that my icon's literally a cat. And my username's literally a cat. What? I know. Shocking. I wear my inspirations very heavily on my sleeves. And like, it was the same thing like when I was younger as well. Like, if you look back at my older eras of art, which it's hard for you guys to do because I've never told you guys what my old art account is called, and I probably never will, because the shit's on there is cringe. But on my old art account, if you look at some of my older like middle school era art, a lot of it is like dark and gritty, lots of contrasting colors and dark themes. And that's because at the time I was really into horror media and like creepypastas and stuff like that. And so I drew a lot of content that was a lot darker. And nowadays I am more into like cute pastel stuff like that. Fair, yeah. Nowadays I'm more into like cutesy pastel cartoony styles. And so I've just kind of altered directions, but you can still kind of see some of my background with enjoying horror in some of my pieces. Some of my characters are like pretty dark, and sometimes when I'm drawing cute characters, like my little purple cat Hush, or even this character in particular, I give them claws, I give them teeth, I give them aspects that are normally considered to be like more like, not necessarily horror, but just like more abrasive than you'd normally see in like a super cutesy cartoony animal, just to kind of give them a little bit of that edge that I used to have when I was first starting out. But yeah, I have a tendency to get very inspired by anime in general is what I usually get inspired by, but I also get pretty heavily inspired by book series I really like, other artists. I get super inspired by other artists, which I wouldn't say that my style really fit some of any other artist because I've tried very hard to differentiate myself a little bit and make myself stylistically, like, separate from other people. Because, like, I just think, I just kind of, like, I want my style to be unique and recognizable. So I try not to have my artistic inspirations be quite as obvious in my work. But I mean, if you look at the art I do now and some of the artists I used to follow when I was younger, I'm sure there are similarities because I probably picked up a lot of what I do these days from artists I used to follow when I was younger. These days I don't have that much anymore because a lot of the artists I follow are way, 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 way better and outside of my artistic capabilities, so I can't use them as like a reference for my own style because they're so much better at art than me that I couldn't even try to replicate it if I tried. It's pretty common because I'm a decent artist, but I am by no means a professional, and I'm by no means the best artist at all. Because I have a lot of artists I follow that are just, it boggles my mind how good they are, dude. Every day I'm jealous of how good those artists are, man. And, like, I'm striving to one day be that good. If I could get my digital coloring to be as good as other artists, I think I'd be happy. Because I do think I prefer my traditional work to my digital. But yeah, I just, like, find a form of media that you think has a lot of room for creativity. Some recommendations I have would be... what did I start out with? Forms of media that have a lot of room for creativity. If you're looking for something anime related, MHA is a fantastic one because you can make a lot of unique characters using MHA as a base. Soul Eater is another one that's fantastic because Soul Eater is really cool. You can make any character you want. Usually comes in pairs, obviously, because you have to have a weapon and a Meister. But that one's another one that has a lot of room for creativity. And then just kind of like find a media where you think that you could do a lot with what is laid out before you in the universe, and just kind of go bonkers with it. Just write some stuff, draw some stuff. Like, yeah, that's how I went about it. I started out by making my own fan-made characters for media I liked, and it just kind of went from there. Okay. Do a little bit more rendering on these line art here. I guess I shouldn't call this a rendering. I'm just like adding line weight, a little fun factoid for all you folks out there. If you want your pieces to look a little bit more polished, you can add line weight, which is basically like making some areas of the lines a little bit thicker than others. It gives your character more, like, depth, I feel like. It's a little fun factoid. Personally, I was always finding that creativity. It was always finding that creativity. Do I even like computer science, art, history, and etc.? Especially having a lot of frustration through failure and past experiences, I ended up doing nothing. That's the thing is, like, it is very easy to get discouraged with failures. There were a lot of times where I almost quit drawing because a lot of factors. My friend was way better than I was. Everybody I followed online was way better than I was. Nothing I ever did turned out the way I wanted it to. People used to make fun of me for the way I drew. I've had people give me hella shit. Which is part of why I'm a little bit more, I think, jaded to it now, is because I used to get a lot of shit for the art I drew. And it is really hard to stay encouraged when you're getting, like, when you're failing and not happy with yourself and others are kind of tearing you down on top of that. But, like, sometimes you just gotta look for that perseverance, you know? Find that perseverance and just find a way to, like, push yourself to keep going, because the more you continue to work on stuff, the better you'll feel about it, I've found. And, like, there's also no shame in going to others for help on stuff, too. Like, one thing I did a lot when I was younger and was a little bit more outgoing than I am now. I could never even fathom doing this now. But when I was younger, I used to message artists I really liked and ask them for advice on how to draw, or how to write, or how to create characters, because I liked the way they did it, so I wanted to know how I could incorporate that in my own way. And some of them didn't reply, and some of them did. And I feel like that was one thing that benefited me a lot. And I feel like it's something I probably could benefit more nowadays. Just being a little bit more outgoing and, like, not being afraid to, like, ask people stuff. Because most of the time you'll find that people are a lot nicer than you think they'll be. But, there's, like I said, no shame in going to others for, like, advice on stuff if you feel like you're stagnant and not improving. And, like, sometimes you just gotta push yourself even though it's hard. It can be really difficult. But sometimes it's what you gotta do. You just gotta throw caution to the wind and do what you love despite how things might go. That's the way I've always kind of looked at it, you know? Because, like, for a while, when I first discovered that I was good at drawing furries, I was really scared to ever start drawing them. Because I was like, oh my god, if I draw furries, all of my friends are going to hate me, everybody is going to think I'm weird, because there is a very weird side to the fan base, I will admit. And, like, I was so scared of getting into drawing this kind of stuff. And it's gotten to the point now where I'm like, yeah, I fucking draw furries, what you gonna do about it? I'm good at it, so why the fuck wouldn't I, you know? You just gotta you gotta learn to make peace with yourself, and you gotta learn to make peace with the way others might feel about what you do. Because you aren't gonna be able to please everybody. And if you can't please everybody, who gives a shit? Because half the people who are going to give you crap aren't ever going to be able to achieve what you have. People do it out of jealousy, or they just do it to be jerks. And sometimes you just gotta get over it. Sorry, this is kind of a tangent, but I just like to ramble while I draw. Because like I said earlier, can't listen to copyrighted music, so I can't listen to the songs I want to be listening to. So I will ramble instead. Because if it was my choice right now, I'd be listening to Ghost, man. Have you ever heard Ghost? Their shit slaps. I love their music, but I don't want to get copyright striked. Okay, where else do I want to do line art? Wait. Do it on the tail a little bit, I think. And then we'll move on to color. What time is it? 9 o'clock? Oh, we're making good time. We're making good time. I do need to get some sleep tonight, actually. I've been really bad about not sleeping. I need to actually, like, sleep. Because what I've been doing is this really fun, unhealthy thing where I go to bed at like 1:30 in the morning and then wake up at 6 and go to work. And 5 hours of sleep, it ain't a vibe. It's not fun. You shouldn't do it. I don't know why I do it to myself. So I need to actually get sleep tonight. True, personally, I always find it hard to ask for help. I think the massive value placed on the stuff you create, and you want it to be perfect in the exact way you envisioned or something. Or maybe it's not the exact reply you wanted, I don't know. Yeah, I totally get that, trust me, holy shit. I feel that so much, because even, like, with the level of art that I can do now, I still so often get upset because something I wanted to draw, it does not look anything like I pictured it when I started trying to do it. It is hard. It is very frustrating. Like, that's a totally valid thing to feel, because I feel that constantly, honestly. Like, I will constantly draw something and be, like, very unhappy with how it turned out because it wasn't quite how I envisioned it. And it's the same thing with, like, a reply. Like, for a long time, when I was younger, I was like, I wanted the solution on how to get good at drawing quick. I wanted to be good at drawing immediately, and that is just, I thought that I could do it. And I was like, so I, like, messaged all these artists, and I was like, what's the secret? Like, what is this forbidden jutsu that you guys are doing to get these artistic skills? And almost always the answer was just, you gotta practice. And I hated that when I was a kid. I did not like getting that answer because that was hard and it was work and it took a long time and it wasn't the instant solution I wanted. So you are sometimes going to get answers that you don't like to hear, and that is like, it is discouraging because then you don't want to reach out anymore. But, and I mean, I can't talk too much on that subject because I did eventually stop reaching out. I quit talking to other artists because less of like, I was worried about the responses I'd get, and more like, I'm just socially awkward now. I used to be a lot more outgoing when I was younger. Nowadays, I have a conscience, and I'm scared. In the UK, it's 3 a.m. I'm an absolute owl when I want to recorrect my sleep schedule. My God, dude. I don't know how you're living. I've had very few 3 a.m.ers lately. I used to do a bunch of 3 a.m.ers, but I can't anymore. I've become old and withered. In my ripe old age of 21 years. I just can't. It's yeah. I did have one night, this last college semester I was in, where I stayed up till 2:30 in the morning during finals week because I decided to do a movie marathon. AKA I watched 2 movies. I watched Beetlejuice and then I watched Poltergeist. Which was, excuse me, a lot of fun. I loved it. But I was dead the day after. I have found that I just can't do that anymore, man. When I was younger, I used to get like 3 hours of sleep a night and it functioned like a normal human. And I think that I cashed more checks than I cashed all those checks when I was younger, and now I just can't do it. Alright, so are we gonna do what's called the pro gamer move? We're gonna do what's called a pro gamer move. I'm gonna real quick turn my iPad screen off, and I'm gonna snap a picture of my reference and use a fancy little tool on Procreate that lets me download a character's color palette. Because Procreate has this fun option you can do where you can take a picture, upload it, and then get the color palette from it. So sorry that y'all can't see this, but I just don't want you guys to see my setup because I'm a faceless streamer. I have to take every precaution, unfortunately, because I don't want people to see my face, and I also don't want people to see my iPad stuff because that's my personal stuff. Palettes. New palette from cancel. New palette from photos. Excellent. Let me turn this back over to my iPad. There y'all go. See this color palette. So we're gonna start with this kind of lighter color. Not that one. We're gonna start with this kind of light sandy color. We're gonna reference this and we're just gonna start throwing our colors on here. I did that once in my exam, obviously not a good idea, so I didn't sleep at all before my exam because I didn't want to risk sleeping. My brain is still used to do that. Yeah, back in the old days when I just like wouldn't sleep. It was a time. It was indeed a time. You know what we're gonna do instead? We're gonna do it like this. We're gonna do this a slightly different way than usual. We are going to, first of all, turn that, yes, perfect, better. We're gonna reverse our colors here real quick. Or not really reverse them, but take the background out so I can work on doing the line art in a way that's easy for me to see. Because this character has a lot of light colors. And when you have a lot of light colors, you want to get rid of that white background so you can see what you're working on. Make sure you're not having any gaps in your work. Make sure everything looks nice and clean. Because when you have a white background, it's really hard to see gaps in light colors. And it's way easier to see when you turn it black, like a darker color. Okay, good. Shave a little off there. Excellent. Nice. Okay, other cheek. But yeah, I would totally recommend that, like, it's probably one of the reasons my creativity is inconsistent. Actually, part of the reason that I'm such a night owl is because I am more creative at night. I don't know what it is. I generate my best work in the evenings. I can try and draw in the middle of the day, and I almost always hate it. But when I draw at night, it is like a magic spell has been cast, and I am just able to generate some of my best stuff. Which isn't necessarily the reason I always stream in the evenings, but it's definitely a motivating factor as to why I stream a little bit later in the evenings, you know? Because I just do better work in the evenings. That's when I record all my videos. What? Yeah, it's true. I don't know what it is. I do better in evenings than I do during the day. It's a strange phenomenon kind of thing. It's a side reason, basically. Yeah, exactly. When I was younger, the main reason I started staying up so late was because I had friends in other time zones that I wanted to stay up late talking to, so I'd stay up super, super late. And I think my creativity became a late night thing kind of as a side effect of that, because that was how it went for a while. I was doing creative stuff with my friends online at such a late hour that I've kind of like conditioned myself to the point where now when I generate work, I do better in the evenings. It's just what I'm used to, I suppose. I don't really know how to explain it. It's just kind of a phenomenon in of itself. But that is a motivating factor as to why I stream in the evenings. It is partly because I do my best work in the evenings. It's just how it is. And it's also, of course, when I have time, because I do work a full-time job. But it's not necessarily always the reason. Like, if I was to stream on weekends, I probably would stream just as late at night. Which I say late, it's only like, what, 9:30 here? It's not that late for me. I started a little earlier than usual today. I usually start at 8 or 9 o'clock. But today I decided to start at 7:30 because I was bored and that's what I wanted to do, you know? Okay, so we got our kind of sandy color put in. Oh, wait, no, the base of the tail still needs it. So we're going to put that there. I will say, digital art does have a lot of benefits. I do like being able to color drop. It makes coloring a lot easier. But at the same time, I feel like because I'm able to color drop, I was able to I get a little lazier with my coloring. Back then, I never used the internet. I was just a TV, Cartoon Network, or Toonami. Yeah, I am okay, how can I phrase this? I am a product of unrestricted early internet access. I was on the internet an unhealthy amount when I was younger. And, I can't complain about that too much because it did really shape who I am today. Probably would not have drawn as much because I was inspired by a lot of online artists. But, no, I had internet access really, really young. Probably way younger than I should have had. I think I got my first computer when I was 11 or 12, I think. So, way too young. Way too young. Don't ever, if you have siblings or know anybody that's that young that has online access, take that away from them. It's not a good thing to have at that age. Let's see here. Darker ginger color now. I was way too young to be on the internet like I was. But, I mean, I fortunately am safe and was in, nothing bad ever happened, but I was one of the lucky ones. You should never, ever, ever allow somebody that young to have unrestricted internet access. It was not a good idea. But my parents didn't know better. Boo. Where's the gap? There's the gap. Bam. It's actually kind of funny. One of the things that started me out to be an artist, this is kind of embarrassing to admit, but I'm just going to talk about it anyway. One of the things that inspired me to be an artist was Sonic the Hedgehog. It's such a weird thing to say, but it's true. It's a fact. I was heavily inspired by Sonic the Hedgehog. I used to really love Sonic when I was a kid, and when I first started drawing, I drew Sonic characters. That was my thing. Now obviously I don't draw as much Sonic as I used to. I still can. I'm still not bad at drawing Sonic characters. I'm not fantastic at it, but I'm actually not that bad at it. Cute. Okay, that's looking good. Also, just a heads up, folks, when I finish this drawing, this is going to be it for the evening. Because I think I've been streaming for about 2 hours now, which is longer than I usually do. That's a pretty long stream for me. And that's just because I decided to go the extra mile and do some extra details on this work. So, after this drawing is done, that's going to be it for me from the evening. Because I need to get some sleep. I don't know why, but I thought you'd say FNAF with horror stuff, like you said earlier on. I was a big FNAF person as well. I didn't mention that, but yes, I was big into FNAF as well. I never, like, got into it as some people did. Some people are, like, really into it, and I was never quite that big. I did like the series, and I played a bunch of the games when I was younger. But I would say probably my largest inspiration came from creepypastas and, like, classic YouTube horror series such as, like, Marble Hornets was a big one for me. Which, if you're not familiar with Marble Hornets, it's basically, like, a very early YouTube series based around Slender Man. I thought it was the scariest thing ever when I was a kid. Going back at it now, it's more of like a humor thing for me because it's not that scary. But it's very fond in my memories. I loved that series when I was a kid. I was a big creepypasta person, though. That was my thing. I liked creepypasta stuff. Jeff the Killer. I was Jack. Silver from the Pokemon creepypasta that I can't think of the name of off the top of my head. The 2011. Yes, gotta love some 2011 stuff. Gotta love it. Yep, you can. I am a product of the era I was raised in. I started my internet access in 2011. Therefore, a lot of my creativity, like creative inspiration, comes from very 2011 era stuff, such as creepypasta. But yeah, Marble Hornets was a big thing for me when I was younger. Like I said, I used to think it was the scariest thing ever. Obviously, it's not anymore. It's actually quite tame as far as horror goes. But when I was a kid, that was like the peak horror, man. Let's see, the edges of the eyes looks like that's where that starts. So it's a slightly different color, though. Oh, it looks like it's a gradient, maybe. Here, okay. But yeah, I like 2011 creepypasta was what I grew up on. Let's see here. What color do I want to do next? Let's use that kind of dark brownish color they use for filling stuff in. I forgot. But yeah, that was the kind of horror that I grew up on. That's what I used a lot when I was a kid. I guess that's a little bit of a different color, isn't it? Maybe I should make the line art this color instead. Let's see how that looks. Oops. Reference this layer. Let's see what happens if we turn this line art into a mauve instead of the brown. How are we thinking that looks with the colors I have? That's better. I think I'm going to change it to that mauve color. Which is fitting, I suppose, because it's the color from the palette, so it makes sense that it would look good. I only knew most of the creepypasta stuff because of LBP. I don't know if you've ever played it. People made custom levels of the characters. LBP, what does the acronym stand for? I might recognize it, I just don't recognize the acronym. I can't remember how I got into creepypasta at first. I think it was from probably artists, and then it was fed into by like YouTube at the time. Little Big Planet, gotcha. I was never involved in Little Big Planet. I bought a copy of the game because I wanted to play it super bad, and then I never did. But yeah, I know it was really popular for people to make like custom levels of creepypasta characters in a lot of different game franchises. It was really, really big back then. Because, like, one of my first exposures to creepypasta was from PewDiePie. He did a Amnesia playthrough that the levels included some creepypasta characters. And that was, like, one of the first times I'd ever seen it. Which was... that's interesting to think about nowadays. But, yeah, PewDiePie was an introduction in that sense. But I think a majority of it probably stemmed from artists at the time. Because when I was younger, that's a lot of what I did. A lot of, like, some of it was inspiration from friends as well. Like, my friends when I was younger were really big into Homestuck, and so I started reading Homestuck because my friends liked it. Oops, I gotta reference the layer again. There we go. Okay, it's looking good, looking good. I'm liking this so far. Get the edge of the eye here. Okay. Okay. Ah, shit. Where's the gap? Okay, that's fine. Let's see here. What other colors do I need to throw in? So the color on the cheeks is a little darker than this color. So for this color, it's this. Color on the cheeks is probably this then. Damn, the game was definitely extremely creative and it allowed art and logic, which kind of sparked my ideas in computer science or art. Yeah, see, that's what I heard, is that it was like a very creative game, which is why I wanted it so bad when I was a kid. It's honestly a shame I never did play it. I still have a copy. I probably should just, you know, get into playing it nowadays. It's probably not as good. Mostly new PewDiePie from his outlets or isolation videos. Yeah, I am like a vintage PewDiePie viewer. I think one of the first videos I ever saw from him was his his Amnesia playthrough. Which at the time, the first video I had like that was exposed me to PewDiePie was probably not the best video to get introduced to his channel on, because it was a video that required you to understand a lot of really obscure references to his previous content, because he was playing an Amnesia map that was custom made for him. So it had like Stefano and Mr. Chair and Jennifer the Rock and like all stuff at the time that I just didn't understand. I had no idea what the hell was going on. But seeing that stuff made me think, okay, well, I want the context of this, and that's why I started watching him. So I watched him play Amnesia. I watched his Happy Wheels series. And what else did I watch from PewDiePie? I watched... what else did I watch from him? I used to watch a lot of his stuff, but it's just slipping my mind at the moment. His prop hunt videos were some of my absolute favorites, and Trouble in Terrace Town was another big favorite of mine. I loved those games. I honestly think LBP hasn't aged that badly, in my opinion. Maybe I'm biased. My name does have LBP in it. Oh my gosh! I've never noticed what that was. Yeah, Prop Hunt. I love Prop Hunt, man. When I watched PewDiePie play Prop Hunt, man, it was over for me. I loved his Prop Hunt videos, man. I loved that shit. It was so good. It's still, like, I still sometimes go back and rewatch them because I just think they're so funny. And, like, when people say, oh, I miss the old PewDiePie, that's the, like, I don't really miss the old PewDiePie. I really like the direction his content has gone. But I do really love the Prop Hunt videos, man. They were so funny. That is one thing I feel like, this is kind of a tangent, but that is one thing I feel like is kind of unfortunate, is everybody's constantly like, oh, I liked PewDiePie's old content better. It's like, okay, cool, but he doesn't do that anymore. I see all other YouTubers like CNanners play that. I mainly watched that back then. Yeah, I think he's played with CNanners a couple times. He played with CNanners. Who were the other people he played with? Oh my gosh, I can't remember their names. I used to know their names off the top of my head. But he played with a couple other content creators that were pretty popular at the time in that community. CNanners, I know, was one of them. But, yeah, Pewds was my main exposure to Prop Hunt. He was really the only person I watched play that, except I think I maybe watched... Did the Smosh guys ever... The Smosh guys did an episode of Prop Hunt with PewDiePie, I think. Either that or Trouble in Terrace Town, one of the two. And then for a while I started watching Smosh because of that collaboration. But I never was big into Smosh when I was younger. For whatever reason, Smosh wasn't my favorite content. I think it's definitely nostalgia that creates that feeling of he doesn't do X thing anymore. Yeah, absolutely. People are just so, like, eager for that good hit of nostalgia that they're forgetting that content creators just have grown. And, like, content has changed so much. And, like, I genuinely love PewDiePie's new content. I really like PewDiePie. I think he's a great creator. I watch his stuff every time he uploads these days. And his content has shifted pretty drastically, because nowadays he really goes for more of like the, nowadays he really does more of like vlog content, but I like it. I think it's good. It's more of what I like to watch these days, because I feel like I've kind of grown a lot as a person too. And the content he created when he was younger and did other content wasn't necessarily the stuff I do enjoy these days. So I think it's nice that he's kind of changed directions with his stuff a little bit. I've enjoyed it. Because he mostly, now that he lives in Japan, does, nowadays he mostly does his Japan vlogs. He does a lot of vlogs in Japan, which I really like. I think it's super fun to see his content in Japan. Ah, I'm on the wrong layer. I don't think I have that nostalgia anymore for creators in particular. I usually enjoy what they do anyway, or just watch less. Yeah, that's the thing, is like I still have a pretty big nostalgia factor when it comes to stuff like that. Not necessarily with PewDiePie, but like with a lot of like old animations on YouTube, because I used to be really super big into the YouTube animation community. So I like to go back and watch old YouTube animations. But for Pewds, it's not quite as like much of a thing for me. I will go back and watch some of his like I said, Prop Hunt or Trouble in Terrace Town videos that were nostalgic for me. But I wouldn't say I consume nostalgic content from him very often. It is kind of fun to go back and see some old creators though that you used to follow. Like I followed this guy for a while. His name was Pink Stylist, because I used to think that makeup art was really, really cool, and I still love makeup art. It's just not what I would obviously do it's not something I really do as much with anymore, I'd say. Stuff like, and when I say makeup art, I mean like movie SFX. Not like Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star kind of stuff. I mean more along the lines of like, here's how people who do movies make prosthetics to make these characters. And Pink Stylist used to do a bunch of that stuff back in the day. And that's why I watched his content. He used to do a lot of creepypasta characters, which is part of what drew me in. He was really talented, too, for, like, a freelance artist. I really liked his stuff. And so sometimes I'll go back just for the nostalgia hit on that. I found him on TikTok the other day, which is hilarious, because I hadn't seen his content in years. I had no idea he was still making content. I just watched old anime AMVs on YouTube back then. Evanescence, Dragon Ball Z, yes! I used to do that with Soul Eater. That was my big AMV phase, was I would watch Soul Eater AMVs. Which I can't remember off the top of my head any particular AMVs of Soul Eater, but I did watch a ton of those back then, man. I was big into Soul Eater AMVs. I think, like, a lot of them were based around, like, Maka, when she got, like, taken over by, what's it called? It's been so long since I've seen Soul Eater. I almost want to just say it called Chaos or something like that. But it was, like, really good. I love that show. And those are so nostalgic for me still. Okay, let's see here. So we have this kind of color. So we're going to use this kind of lighter gray color. We're going to come in and do the shoulders. For me, it was DBZ, Beyblade, Avatar, TLA, or maybe Sonic X. Oh my god, Sonic X. I used to watch so much Sonic X on YouTube. Holy shit. I loved Sonic X when I was a kid. I used to watch a lot of AMVs of Sonic as well. I loved Sonic. I also used to watch those really old, like, pixel animated, like, Mario vs. Sonic Who Will Win videos. And when I was younger, like, I'm sure there's other shows I'm forgetting. Yeah, I'm sure I am too. One show I was really big into as a kid, which not a lot of people are familiar with this, which is hilarious to me because I'm fairly certain the person who wrote it is the same person who wrote Cowboy Bebop. It's Wolf's Rain was the first anime I ever saw. And I used to watch AMVs of that and, like, clips of the characters and stuff. Sonic X Episode 1 Part 1 240p. Literally. Yes, absolutely. Like, you had to do parts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and they were all in shit quality, but you loved it anyway. The good old days, man, when you could find anime on YouTube in just really shit quality. That was how I watched all of my anime for a long time. I used to watch Wolf's Rain on YouTube. I watched Sonic X on YouTube, which isn't really an anime, but it's animated. I used to watch, what else did I used to watch when I was on YouTube younger? I used to watch all sorts of shit on YouTube, man. I loved it. Do the eyes real quick because I feel like it. Before copyright ruined everything. True. I was literally talking about this earlier on stream, but I'm so sad with the direction that copyright has gone these days. Like, here's the thing. Companies are fully within their right to protect the content that they produce, because if they can't profit off of it, they're obviously not going to produce any more content. So, I think companies are fully within their right to, like, take down stuff that's very infringing like that. But at the same time, man, let us have a little fun. Come on. Like, don't be such dickwads all the time. Like, the main thing I was complaining about earlier was on Twitch. I can't listen to the music I want to listen to, because the music I want to listen to is copyrighted, and if I listen to it, I will get in trouble, even though I'm literally just using it as background music while I do other things. Sonic X is actually counted as an anime. I'm pretty sure there's stuff in Sonic X's sub that's drastically different from the dub of it. Really? Huh. I guess I only ever watched it dubbed, so I wouldn't know. That's interesting, though. I guess I shouldn't be surprised it's considered an anime, technically, because, like, it's like, I don't know. I feel like any Japanese cartoon that gets transferred over to American can technically be considered an anime. 100% whistling a made-up song will get you in trouble. Yeah, it's ridiculous. The music copyright laws on YouTube and Twitch are insane, and I will never, ever, ever be supportive of that. Because, here's the thing. When people go and watch a live stream, they are very rarely going to be watching that live stream for the music. They are there to see the creator they like producing content. They are not there to listen to some stupid-ass song that's playing in the background just as filler, so it's not dead silence and awkward. It drives me insane, man. I really hate the... Like, some of the stuff is totally understandable. Like, people shouldn't be able to, like, stream full TV shows on Twitch. But, like, some of it's ridiculous, man. You shouldn't have to, like, worry that humming a song will get you copyright striked. Whoa, there's a hole in my line art somewhere. So, and that's unfortunate, because I would love to share some of my music with stream. But because... Not to... Like, I mean, who am I kidding? I think I have a good taste in music because it's my taste in music. So I would love to share the music I listen to with stream, but it's just not an option I have. Because I can't share music on stream, I'll get copyright striked. And the same thing with YouTube, because I post all of my streams to YouTube, and I really don't want to, like get my thing copyright striked. Because, like, even though I'm not making any ad revenue off of my YouTube stuff, it's just, I don't want my content to have that little copyright strike box on it. It really restricts creativity, parody, satire. It feels restricted compared to pre-2016. True. It's awful. Like, when I was younger, I would, like, dreamed of doing YouTube animation, where, like, you could take a song and animate your characters to it and do, like, an animated music video where you yourself animated it. That was pretty popular back in the day, and I loved that content. And I wanted so badly to do that. Well, then they changed it now, where you can't use songs like that without getting in trouble and copyright striked. And it's like, well, if you're gonna pour hours into an animation just for it to, like, get taken by a company and milked for revenue, like, what's the fucking point, honestly? It really stunts creativity. But, I mean, what can you do? That's just the climate of the internet these days, unfortunately. Okay, so this color here, okay, goes to about, where on the arm does it go? It goes to about, probably the entire upper arm, and then the ginger probably comes down to the lower. I do miss pre-2016 YouTube, though. The good old days. Like, like I said, it wasn't perfect, but it wasn't horrible. I used to watch a bunch of anime on YouTube. It was great. Yeah, man. I get nostalgic for the old days sometimes. What can I say? I am a nostalgia junkie. What am I kidding? Who am I kidding? I love nostalgia. I reread old books. I rewatch old shows. It was perfect in my eyes. True. It had its own... For me, it was like, it has issues, but the issues are outweighed by the benefits. I really loved YouTube back in the day. Nowadays, I post to YouTube, but I hate YouTube so fucking much these days. It's like, the only reason I upload there is because what is the alternative? What's the alternative? What, you're gonna go upload on some other obscure-ass website that nobody's ever heard of? No, you're not. You're gonna upload on YouTube, because it's the only place where your content's gonna get seen. Unless it's Twitch, of course. Twitch is different, because it's for live streaming. But, like, if you're uploading short-form content like videos, YouTube's really the only place you're gonna do it and get noticed, if you're, like, if I'm honest. Which, like I said, is unfortunate, because I hate YouTube. I am very open about my hatred for them. They do so many dumb things and make so many mistakes and never own up to any of them, and it is infuriating. YouTube and Twitch do weird stuff. Yeah, neither of them are perfect. They're the best options you have out there, but they're not great. Twitch is banning people for words that are ridiculous, which I can't even say because I don't want to get banned. Thank you very much. YouTube is just... I don't even want to get started on the YouTube issues, man. I'll just say one very small one. So, folks who are in chat may be familiar because a lot of you guys come originally from their Discord. But, I moderate for the Custodians' YouTube streams on occasion. I'm a moderator for their streams on YouTube, and if Rhett ever needs me to come in and moderate, I'm more than willing to. And the other day, we had a bot in the chat while he was streaming the One Piece manga that was spamming NSFW stuff. And he could not get them banned. So he called upon me and was like, hey, since you're a moderator, can you come over to my chat and get this guy out of here? Because it's a bot just spamming shit. And it was ridiculous because apparently I found this out. Moderators on YouTube can like delete chat messages and time people out, but they cannot permaban people from chat, which is ridiculous. Moderators should absolutely be able to ban people from chat. That is what moderators are there to do. They're there to keep the content that the creator is trying to put out, keep it safe, keep it appropriate, and keep it on track. Like, it frustrates the hell out of me that YouTube doesn't allow their online moderators to ban people from their chats. It's insane. It's a terrible idea. They should, like, YouTube chat, yeah. Like, on, like, the YouTube live streams. Because Rhett will occasionally stream on YouTube, and so when he streams on YouTube, he will have the chat open so people obviously can talk, and then he has the chat up on screen so people can see it. And the bot was spamming shit in the YouTube chat, which I could not ban them from, and he could not ban them from. And can you filter out words on YouTube like Twitch? I don't know if you can or not. I, as the moderator, cannot. That would probably have to be something Rhett would do behind the scenes on the channel. But yeah, it's bonkers to me, man. I just don't get why YouTube wouldn't allow moderators to just ban people from chat. It's ridiculous to me. Twitch does it. YouTube doesn't. YouTube is just like constantly copying other websites' stuff, but in ways that is just drastically inferior to the other website. Another example being YouTube Shorts being a complete and utter ripoff of TikTok. Completely shameless ripoff of TikTok, let me add. Which, let's be real, what company hasn't ripped off TikTok? All of them are really looking to get their hands on that money. Because I'm pretty sure Instagram has Reels. I'm sure Facebook has something equivalent. Yeah. they just make it, they just take content from other sites, like they take their ideas and then they just do it worse. So like YouTube, I need to fix this. I did not do this on this character when it needs it. Like YouTube Shorts sucks. Yeah. YouTube Shorts, like Reels sucks, and so does YouTube Shorts. They both are horrible. I am a person who has tried to use all of those, like all of the content that is like for Shorts. The TikTok thing on YouTube, yes, Shorts. Shorts is terrible. I've tried using it a couple of times. And every single time I use it, I think, wow, that was not worth it, and I'm never going to do this again. Because, for a while, when I was unable to be on, like, at home with my recording and, like, streaming setup, I was going to try and, words, can't think, brain empty, no thoughts. It's so inconvenient, especially on a computer. Yeah, well, thing is like, mobile's not much better, because I tried uploading from mobile. So what happened was I was away from my usual recording setup and streaming setup for a few days. Like, basically for a 4-day weekend, I didn't have my equipment. And I couldn't stream last week because I was pet sitting my parents' dog, and he would freak out if I was in my office, and I can't stream if I'm not in my office because that's where all my equipment is. And so I was like, how can I still upload content to YouTube while being away from my setup? And I was like, oh, I know. I post a ton of stuff on TikTok. I'll just take the content I post on TikTok and I will post it to YouTube Shorts. But here's the thing. I decided first, I was like, I'll do my art videos. I'll take some of my speed paints that I have never posted to YouTube and I'll post it through Shorts. And that'll be good. It'll be something new and fresh and it'll be something super simple. Then I found out that YouTube, like, when you're uploading content to YouTube and to TikTok, you have to use the sounds that are pre-programmed into the app, or else you're going to copyright striked, because that's how everything works these days. But the problem is YouTube only lets you use 15 seconds of their approved sounds. On TikTok, you're able to use 60, 30, however much time you need on TikTok, they give you for those sounds. And on YouTube, they don't allow that, which is awful, because all of my art content that my speed paints, they have two modes. They can either be 2 minutes long or they can be 30 seconds long, because that's how Procreate exports speed paints. So basically, what happens is I'm not able to use copyrighted music in any of my TikToks that I upload here, because I'll get copyright striked. But if I try to upload the audio through YouTube, where it's like approved, I can't. It's garbage. Not to mention that, like, the other day I tried uploading, like, my own personal content that, like, it was a couple of clips from a live stream I did. And I was uploading it, I had, like, spliced it together using TikTok, because TikTok allows you to take multiple video clips and splice them together to create a single TikTok. YouTube does not allow you to do that. You can only upload one clip, and that's the clip. So you have to do your editing on a separate platform, which is annoying as hell and stupid. So then that was the whole thing. And so I was like, okay, well, this sucks, but it's fine. And I just uploaded my TikTok. And apparently if you upload videos from your camera roll, it drastically will drop your audio quality. I sounded like I was talking in the middle of an echoey ass room. And like, my sound quality is not perfect, but it's not that bad. And the TikTok had fine audio quality. It was literally just YouTube that was having problems. It's so irritating. It drives me absolutely crazy. I absolutely hate YouTube Shorts. They do everything so bad. Their streaming service is mediocre. Their shorts are mediocre. It's just an awful, awful, awful platform. Sorry about it. Like, sorry if you're a YouTube simp. It sucks. It's not a good platform. I hate YouTube, but there's no alternative. If there was, I'd be there in a heartbeat, honestly. Because YouTube also, like, they screw over creators. They're just awful. They're not good. I don't like YouTube at all. Okay, let's see here. Do the white mid-thigh section here. Just trying to... Sorry if I'm kind of quiet. I'm trying to get this thigh section figured out. I can't wait till a better conglomerate makes a better platform in 30 years or something. True. I wish that there was a better platform than YouTube out there, because then YouTube would actually have to start making their platform good. I think that's like the big reason that YouTube sucks so bad, is they don't have competition. So like, since there's no competition, there's no motivation for them to fix their issues, because it's not like people can go somewhere else. I think that if they got competition, they'd actually start to sweat and fix their shit, which would be real nice, but the likelihood of that happening is basically zero, unfortunately. Unless some other platform randomly starts to pop off, which I doubt it ever will, because YouTube has got like such a monopoly on the creator market these days. Anyone that doesn't upload to YouTube only uploads to Twitch. So this is looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how this is going. It's a really hard character to draw, though. I probably picked this is a pretty complex character to choose for this kind of stream. I've already been going way longer than I planned to. But it's fine, because it's looking really good. Okay. Do the kind of reddish color down here. I think if they have competition, they wouldn't be able to handle it. Exactly. They'd crash and burn. They would totally crash and burn if they had any real competition. Because they don't know how to fix their own damn problems. They don't know how to keep their audiences and creators happy. Like, they would absolutely crash and burn if they had competition. They would be completely annihilated so easily. It's pathetic that they're the biggest they're the biggest conglomerate for uploading videos, because they're so bad. It just drives me insane. I really don't like YouTube. I really wish there were better options, but there aren't. So what can you do? Everybody's always like, oh, well, you could try uploading somewhere else. And I'm like, yeah, but if you upload somewhere else, you're not going to get any viewership. Because while YouTube does have problems, it's the biggest platform for uploading content. So, or video content, I suppose I should specify. So, like, if you go somewhere else, it's just not going to have the same pull that it does on YouTube. And a lot of people who do YouTube are part of the motivation for it is monetary, because you can make content. Like you can make money off of doing your content, which for me personally isn't a huge motivating factor. I don't even accept donations or subscribers on Twitch, because that's not really why I stream. There's no shame to people who do that, because if you feel like you want to donate or pay for your content, then freaking pop off. Honestly, for me, I do it because I like it, and I just don't really feel the need to monetize it, at least not at this point in my career. I'm not fiending to get stuff I'm not fiending to get subs or anything, because for me a follow is all I need, because I just want to hang out with more people more than I want to gain revenue from it. But all it takes is one technological advancement in the same medium and some rich businessmen to capitalize on it. That's probably when YouTube sweats, similar to Blockbuster Netflix. Yeah, exactly. YouTube would absolutely pull a Netflix, where they find competition and realize they're starting to lose viewership, and they just absolutely crash and burn and ruin themselves. I hate Netflix too, man. Oh man, I'm just going off on all these companies that I just can't stand, and I hate Netflix too. I use Netflix. Don't get me wrong, I'm a dead ass hypocrite. I use Netflix, vibing essentially. Yes, exactly. Don't get me wrong, I use Netflix. I use it a lot. Not as much as I used to, because they removed, spoiler alert, they removed all the content I liked, so I don't use it as much anymore. But I do use Netflix. I have a subscription to it. But the problem is they raised their prices. Never use Netflix. I'm a pirate. Hell yeah. Honestly, I'm getting to that point. I like part of the reason I say I have a subscription to it. What I mean is that I'm mooching off of my parents' subscription to it because I can. And Netflix just drives me crazy though, not because of yeah, they've raised prices and that's awful. Because as bad as things are these days with people barely earning enough to get by, fair, yeah. With people barely earning enough to get by and then raising prices, it's kind of douchey. But for me, it was they cancel so much content. It is unfortunate. I'm trying to think of a way to phrase this. Okay. So I personally, when I was a kid, was never a big reader of the Wings of Fire series, which is it's essentially the Warrior Cat. From what I can tell, it's essentially the Warrior Cat series, but it has dragons instead of cats. It's wildly popular even today still. It's a very popular series. I never personally got into it, but I know a lot of people are big fans of it. They were producing a Wings of Fire animated series on Netflix. And it was they had all this promotional stuff. It was slated to air. They'd been doing in production for it. And then Netflix canceled it. Kind of like they canceled Bone, which is another highly anticipated project. They canceled a bunch of animated projects that they were planning to do and then raised their prices. And it's dude, no one's going to pay for your service if you're constantly canceling the things that you put on there that people want to see. And here's the thing. People kind of used that, cancellation thing as, an excuse to be a total dick to other, content, which I think is unacceptable. You should not tear down other content simply because the thing you were excited for got canceled. I'm sorry that Wings of Fire got canceled, but that doesn't mean you have to go tell Odd Ones Out to die, because that's awful. It's not cool. You can't, you shouldn't tear down other creators just because you're disappointed that your show didn't get made. Because it's not Odd Ones Out's fault that Wings of Fire got canceled. He didn't make that decision. Netflix made that decision. The people in Netflix are thinking, yeah, well, I'll tell you what they're thinking. They're thinking with money and not, they're thinking, monetarily, how they can earn a higher revenue, because they're starting to lose money to other services. Like Hulu. Because every company has a streaming service now. And Netflix is having a harder time now. Because here's the thing. The reason Netflix was able to create so much original content, I think, is because they had those sweet, sweet dollars from other media forms. They had properties on there that were huge, like Friends. Friends is a huge property. And Netflix had that for a while. And so, since they had that property on there, and people were drawn to their service because they had access to it, they got that money. It sounds worse long term to me. Yeah, there's no longevity to it. It's a bad idea. But basically what they did is they were able to start creating original content because they were earning revenue from other sources, such as other television shows and media that was on their platform. Kind of like how, what was the company? Not Hasbro, but what's the company called? The one that makes Barbie. I can't think of it. But basically that company, they used to make Disney's toy dolls, and they used to produce all the toys for Disney. And then they decided they wanted to make their own content, and they used the funding from Disney to make their own content. And then when Disney pulled the rug from under them and took their funding away, they suddenly couldn't produce their own content anymore because they had been taking the money they'd been earning from Disney for granted. Netflix does the same thing. They got so into making their own original series that they started to neglect the properties that were already well established that people really enjoy, and often flocked to their platform to enjoy. And because of that, they have started to notice a decrease, because suddenly, they're not able to put the same funding into their own original projects as they used to, because they no longer have the revenue they got from those original shows. You can't, I understand wanting to create and generate your own content. That's totally, an understandable thing. But you have to, at the same time, remember your roots, and remember that sometimes the reason people start with you in the first place is because you had other well-established content on your site already that they liked. Like, you can't just ditch every well-established media that's on your site and then start producing original content, because people aren't going to go to your site just for your original content sometimes, especially when this quality starts to drop. That's my 2 cents on the issue. I think that they got way too into doing their own original content, which, like I said, it's fine if they want to do their own original stuff, but you can't just neglect the stuff that's not original, because that's where your revenue was to make the original content be as good as it was. Or as good as Netflix content ever was, I guess. Because it wasn't perfect, as anybody who had ever watched Voltron would know. Voltron Legendary Defender, I mean, the one that Netflix produced. That was a garbage fire, man. I'm so glad that I ended up being able to do this stream without losing power. I don't know if you've noticed that my title is like drawing until the thunderstorm takes me out. It's because when I first started streaming, my power was flickering every like 5 minutes because we had a really big storm blow in. But then it ended up being nowhere near as bad as they said it was. So it was fine. But I did almost lose power a couple of times, and I'm glad I didn't, because that would have sucked. Because it's 108 degrees outside, and not having air conditioning with 108 degree weather sounds a freaking miserable. Holy shit, am I done with the character colors? I think I'm done with the character's colors. Holy shit, look at me popping off. Let's go. Okay, let's throw some shading on this bitch. I feel like the companies are always doing that, shooting themselves in the foot, EA's tweet. Yeah, I feel like that's a very popular thing these days, that companies are totally just shooting themselves in the foot. It's hilarious. Honestly, I really like it, because I think it's so funny to see companies completely shooting themselves in the foot. Because companies these days are just so out of touch with what people actually want. It's hilarious. Take, for example, Sony with Morbius. They memed, like, everybody memed Morbius so hard that Sony actually thought they had a good thing going and re-released it in theaters, only for it to flop a second time at the box office because nobody actually wanted to see it. That will forever be just one of the funniest moments to me. It's so good. People, like, companies are so out of touch with, like, the actual public these days. I don't know who the hell they're hiring as marketing directors, but they need to fire those motherfuckers because they don't know how to market for the shit. I hate commercials these days just because it's so out of touch with reality, man. Well, then again, I hate commercials in general, so I guess I can't say too much about, like, oh, just today. No, I hate all commercials. They annoy the hell out of me. I don't like being advertised to. I don't like being pandered to. It annoys me. Oh, the other thing, like, part of what pisses me off so bad with advertising in general is that, the advertising that I get on my stuff isn't content oh no, Morbius, yeah. To be fair, EA's tweet, it just sounded like a new intern making a joke nobody got, so it was just awkward and bad for the company. Yeah, I guarantee that intern lost that job. Holy shit, quick. But, what I was saying was, oh god, what was I saying? It was something about, see, I do this a lot. I lose my train of thought. Shit, what was I talking about? I had a point that I was trying to make, but I can't remember what the hell it was. Oh no. It's gone. Oh, hating companies doing stuff. Yes, thank you. I hate that, I hate how inaccurate their data is on my demographic. Because here's the thing. Not to be like, I'm 14 and this is deep, but I'm not like other girls. I'm kind of a dork, and kind of like an atypical person. I'm kind of weird. And, a lot of stuff that people my age are into, I'm not into at all. Such as drinking. I'm not into it. I hardly ever drink. I don't like partying. I don't like loud music. I'm essentially a 90-year-old woman. And so, because the only demographic that I fit into on YouTube is 21-year-old female, they give me advertisements for 21-year-old and female. Neither of which are something that's very applicable to me as a person. Because I am 21 years old, yes. I don't have kids, thank fucking God. And I get diaper ads constantly because, you know, I guess because I watch Pokemon videos, they think I must have children. Which drives me insane. I hate that shit so much. I constantly get makeup advertisements and skincare constantly. Every other advertisement is, buy this awesome new mascara from L'Oreal Paris. Or like, check out this new microcellular cleansing water. It's so good for your skin. And I'm like, motherfucker, I am not looking for skincare. I'm looking to watch this new PewDiePie upload, so why don't you fuck right off? Drives me insane. It's so inaccurate to who I am. And like, it just because, oh yeah. Oh Lord, artificial intelligence is going out of control. Well, I think it's because like, I am like an advertiser's worst nightmare. I fit zero demographics. I am just so hard to advertise to. Because first of all, I hate being advertised to. I absolutely despise it. Anytime you advertise something to me, if it gets to the point where the advertising is excessive, I will literally go out of my way to not buy a product because I'm so sick of seeing the ads for it. For example, I won't buy any L'Oreal Paris products because I'm so sick of seeing their ads. I will never ever buy their stuff. Same with, there are a couple of movies that I didn't go see because I was so annoyed of seeing the advertisements for it that I refused to go see the movie itself just because I was sick of seeing the advertisements. Like, it is something I just genuinely go out of my way to do because I'm so annoyed by it. The other thing that makes me horrible for advertisers to get into is that the AI that they use to track advertising content, it can't keep track of me because my interests change so much. When Twitch gives me ads for Audible 50 times, literally, oh my God, it drives me insane. I freaking hate that shit so much. Like, oh God, I can't. But like, my interests change so wildly that I feel like advertisers just genuinely don't know what to do with me. Because not only do I not fit their demographic because I'm a 21-year-old female who doesn't give two fucks about makeup and shit. Like, they are like, oh, well, what the hell do we do with you then? Because you don't like any of the shit we're recommending. I feel like Spotify runs into the same problem because my music tastes vary so widely that it just, like, it can never recommend me shit because everything it recommends is just not at all what I'm interested in listening to because I listen to so many different kinds of music that it's impossible for it to keep track of what I want that particular day. And YouTube is the same way. Like, I watch a lot of Pokemon card content, so every once in a while it will start giving me advertisements for, like, children's toys because it associates Pokemon with kids. So I get children's toy advertisements when I start watching Pokemon videos, which is annoying as hell, but I'll let it slide, I guess. But, like, I'm just impossible to advertise to because my interests change so widely that their algorithm just can't keep track. And YouTube also can't keep track of, like, what I like to watch on their platform. I have a hard time finding YouTube content to consume because they can never suggest anything that I'm actually interested in watching. Because what I like to watch varies so widely that they just can't catch up. Like, I watch Pokemon content, I watch a lot of, like, I used to watch a lot of Minecraft stuff, I watch Ted Nivison, I watch just a bunch of random ass stuff, I watch PewDiePie, like, it just can't, it doesn't know what to do with me, so it just starts suggesting, like, stuff that's popular, but I hate the stuff that's popular because a lot of the stuff that's popular on YouTube is cringe as fuck. Like, today I got suggested, like, children react to trying spaghetti made of carrots? And I'm like, okay, cool. Why the fuck would I want to watch a 30-minute video of kids eating goddamn vegetables? Why would I want to watch that? Ever? So, like, I feel like YouTube is trying so hard to, like, nail me down, but I'm fucking dodging that shit with all I can, because I hate being advertised to. Oh, God. Apparently, is my iPad not in Do Not Disturb? It is. Well, let's hope I don't get any more text message notifications popping up, because I really don't need people sharing my private information like that over text. Hopefully that didn't show up on stream. Matrix bullet dodging the ads. Facts, actually. That's how I feel, honestly, when it comes to advertising. I'm just dodging that shit as much as I can. Okay. Do we have any more shading I want to do? Yeah, I guess I do have a little bit more. I'm almost finished though. This is getting really close. Okay. Nice. Looking good. Alright. I don't think I'm going to go super more in detail with this because I do need to go to bed. It's already 10:30 for me. And I was just talking about how I need to get to bed more. So I'm going to add some quick last minute details such as eye shine. And let's throw a background on this bitch. So we use a lot of orange in our piece here. So we want a background that's going to provide some contrast but not look terrible. I did a blue background on my last piece, but I think I'm going to do another blue background here. I might just do the same background I did for my last piece, which was I literally just did a dark blue background. I went to textures, picked my dots, did a layer above the background layer, and then just went like this. Come on, let me rotate, please. Love the Temmie Music Village as I'm trying to finish this. Okay, perfect. I like that. Cool. Maybe not the bottom line, though. Let's use the same color, and let's do one more layer up. We'll go to inking. We'll use our studio pen. Fair, I should sleep, but I don't feel sleepy yet. It feels bad, man. Time for YouTube to lead me into a weird rabbit hole on how to learn the piano. True. I'm so excited because I actually just very recently got a new TV. Well, not really a new TV. A new to me TV is how I would describe it. Basically, my older brother moved into a new apartment, and he has a new roommate who has a TV already. So he gave me his old one, so now I have a TV in my bedroom. And I am so excited about it because that means that when I watch YouTube at night, I don't have to watch it on my tiny phone screen. I can actually watch it on television, which I'm hyped about, man. Okay, let's throw my signature on here. And here you guys can see what I was talking about with my little X that I use in my signature. Let's do this. Okay, that's the right color. Good. So I watermark all of my art these days because art theft is rampant and impossible to avoid. So I haven't had anything stolen yet, but in case I get to the point where I start to get stuff stolen, I'm watermarking all of my stuff. And so I write out Hush Hush Kitten just like that, and then I do a little X like my character has over her mouth. And that's my art signature. And then, of course, I don't want it to look abstracted, like distracting in the drawing, so I turn the opacity down so it's not like distracting. And then that's how I do my art. That's my piece for the evening, man. This one turned out really good. I'm super proud of this. I'm actually so happy with how this one came out. It looks really good. I'm so proud of this. I can't wait to upload it. Oh, gotta stretch out after that long piece. I got a new chair for back support, but that goes out the window when I'm working on art because I hunch when I draw. It's so my back support on my chair does nothing. Art is so weird. At the beginning it looks so unconnected, but at the end it looks really impressive. Like, how did that happen? That's what I'm asking myself. Like, how the fuck did I produce this? How did this come out of my hand? But yeah, I'm really proud of how this one turned out, honestly. It looks really good. I'm super happy with it, which is awesome. That's something I don't get to experience very often, so it's really nice. But yeah. So, wow, I've been streaming for almost exactly 3 hours. Dang. Okay, let's switch back to my normal character, which I think it's that button. Yes, it is. All right. That's going to be the stream for the night, folks. I got my art done. I'm super proud of how it turned out. If you want to see this stuff get posted online, check me out on Instagram. I post on TikTok, all under the same username as I have here on Twitch. I keep everything very consistent, specifically so that people will come and, like, find me on other places. So, yeah, if you're interested in seeing more of my content, check me out on Twitch. Not Twitch, we're on Twitch right now. I'm very tired, very sorry. There's a lot of stream. It was a fun stream. Thank you for the talk and art stream. Yes, of course. Thank you so much for popping by, honestly. It's really nice to have folks in chat that I can converse with while I work on stuff. It makes things so much more fun. But, what I was saying was, check me out on TikTok, check me out on Instagram. It's all under the same username, so it should be theoretically super easy to find. Also check me out on YouTube. I don't post, I used to say I post every day. I don't anymore. I'm trying my best. With more streams and me recording more content, it should be easier. But, so hopefully I'll be back to a daily upload on there soon. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, TikTok. I have a TikTok. You should make a command for it. Yeah, that's one thing I'm planning to hopefully work on this week, is I'm going to start setting up commands in my chat where you can do like !Discord, !TikTok, that kind of stuff, and get links to all of my socials. I'm hoping to work on that this week. I need to play around a little bit with Streamlabs and get working on doing stuff like that. I want to do a lot to start polishing my streams up a little bit more than just what I have now. But, I was planning on working on that tonight, but I just felt like streaming tonight, so that's what I did. But thank you all so much for stopping in. It was an amazing stream. I had a lot of fun. Thank you for bearing with me as I transitioned from Stardew Valley into drawing instead. So, yeah, have a fantastic evening, everybody, and I hope to see you in the next stream. Bye!